Hard about what you want to be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise to the sun. Step 2. Do something good, something for you. Step 3. Think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Going on here. Hold on just a second. There we go. So I've had a lot of bit rate drop. I try to adjust the bit rate. Oops, I'm a little dark here. Hold on. Let me turn some lights on. Let me turn the lights on. There we go. There we go. We can see Betty now. Hey guys, it's nice to see you. Well, good morning. Good morning. So I'm seeing that on my vertical, it is just I'm having a lot of dropping. So that means that the stream is not coming in very good. I started noticing it yesterday. I mean, I don't check my streams like I once did, but I'm getting a poor streaming notification on my vertical stream, but it looks like my horizontal stream is good. Can somebody tell me whether my horizontal stream, or excuse me, my vertical stream is coming in okay or not? I'm on the vertical side in the chat right now. It's nice to see everybody. We'll get started. Hey, Justin for all. It's nice to have you here. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving, and early Christmas. Early Christmas, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I really do. I hope, you know what I haven't, how's the monkey? How's the baby? Get your bit together. I know. Hey, you know what? But you should have heard us the other day because, you know, I've been, every time I laugh now, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's old age. Okay. I think I might get, it's good. I checked. Okay, perfect. And it might be old age because every time I laugh anymore, I'm telling you, I'm crying. So we've got this joke going on. It looks like our skipped frames are about 10%, which is not too bad. It's not too good either, but it ain't the worst in the world, you know, but I'm just going to let it be. I'll have to do some research and fix that when we can. Let me see if I got something a little better than the hate channels. I'm not trying to, you know, be in trouble with the hate channels or anything like that. It's good. I checked. Perfect. So we're going to just dive right into the case this morning. I'm not going to have a whole lot of chit chat because I am, as many of you guys know, I've been having some back problems for weeks and they just seem like they're getting worse and worse and worse for the old Bets here. So yes, I got leaky balls. So that's where we're going with this. I keep crying. So we got leaky balls over here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Some of the conversations, I think we're going to stop there. There's no point going any further. So today we're going to try to touch base on Summer Wells later this afternoon. But before we get started on our Rebecca Parks case, I did want to go over one thing because we do politics over here. Some people don't like it. Some people do. I don't really care. It's my channel. I love, there's two things in this world that make my world go around, that make my personal world go around. And that is politics and true crime. Okay. So if I don't have a stick in both of those things, my life doesn't feel fulfilled. So we will be talking about some national and international stuff, federal stuff, because I believe we need to educate people. Yes, it is. Rebecca Park cases. Are you kidding? It's not just sad. It's just like mind blowing. Okay. At this point, this case is just mind blowing, especially with the updates of the two people walking out of jail, which we're going to get into. And this is just stating, because I know there's a lot of stuff going on online. Did we commit a war crime? Did we not commit a war crime? I don't know definitively whether we did or did not. Okay. What I can tell you is that Pete Hegseth said he handed the baton over to his general. His general decided to sink a boat. The news and politicians are trying to say there was somebody alive, okay? I haven't seen any evidence of anybody being alive on that boat. I haven't seen any evidence to support any of the media's outrage to what our War Department has done. So I just want to make that statement here. If I find something, even if it doesn't look good for Pete or our side, we're going to say it on this show, because at the end of the day, it doesn't do anything to hide the truth. I think we've had enough of that, okay? And so we just want the truth. We want the truth. The truth is the truth. There's nothing we can do. We need the information to make better decisions. And if we're lying to ourselves, I don't see how we're going to be making better decisions for our federal government. So I don't like the misinformation. I don't like the narrative campaigns. I don't like the politics that are going on right now, because they're becoming dangerous and more dangerous. And at the end of the day, our veterans deserve, our military servicemen deserve to be honored and respected for the hard job that they do, not demoralized. And that's just going to be my stance. We're always going to back the blue. We're always going to back the people that keep us safe, that allow us to run our mouth and to take our personal lives for granted. We're going to thank those people, and we're going to protect those people. And by God, we're going to stand up for those people. It is un-American to allow our servicemen and women to be treated and shamed like some of the politicians and media is doing. We will not do that. And screw everybody that is. Come out with receipts and legitimate, not crackpot, oh, we think this happened, so we're going to drive the narrative until we get the information. No, bring the freaking receipts. Bring the receipts and show the world how horrible our War Department is. Don't just bring your words, because none of us believe them. That's all I'm going to stay. We're going to stay. This channel here is going to stick up for our military. We're not going to kowtow to mainstream media or the narratives being driven. We are more safe today than we have ever been. Our borders are closed, narco-terrorists are being destroyed, and the drugs are not coming aboard. Most of the cases that come on our channel are a direct result of substances coming into this country and warping the minds of these people to do terrible things. We say no to substances. We want people to live and thrive in this country. We want people to be happy, and we don't want them being a slave to anyone or anything. We want true freedom, okay? Drugs are oppressive, okay? Substance abuse is oppression. And I truly believe that there are some people in this country that use them to suppress good people because, let's face it, they destroy lives, every type of life. It's not a color, it's colorblind. It doesn't care about your religion. It doesn't care about your net worth. Addiction don't care. It don't care. So anyways, we're going to support our military. Now, getting into this other case, because there's a lot of substance abuse related to this other case as well, right? And this is the Rebecca Park case. This is a I would like to say that this is a case where I believe substance abuse created all of this, okay? We've been trying to figure out why Rebecca, her sister Kimberly, and her brother that we do not know his name yet. I'm sure somebody does, and we're going to find that out in the near future. I personally do not know the brother's name, okay? Yeah. I mean, you know, we're getting to the point where we've got to stop. We got to stop before it gets too bad. But we're dealing with a lot of stuff that's like that. Justin, for all, I mean, literally every single state. I'm going to ask you, and I'm sure you probably already do. Yeah, I know. I'm sure you probably already do this, Justin. But if you go to your Google and you type in child, crime, okay? And then you go over to the news section. I'm going to tell you guys all this, and do it. Do it for yourself, because we can't run some of these stories on these channels. I'm telling you. I mean, we could run them, but we spend so much time in it, and YouTube takes our monetization away. We can talk about whatever the heck we want to, but they won't let us talk about the reality of our child crime in this country. They will demonetize the crap out of us. They will, and this is our social media oligarchs. So what I do want to do, and what I do educate people, go over there, go to Google, type crime, child, go over to the news app. Now, all the way over on the right side gives you filters. Change that filter to 24 hours. And the reason why I'm having you change that filter to 24 hours, because I want you to know how many child crimes happen every 24 hours. I want you guys to see that for yourself. And this is all over the country, okay? We are fighting an uphill battle. And yet we come here every single day, and we can only do one case, right? We've got hundreds of cases going on every single day. Every single day, all across this country. It's enough to make you sick to your stomach. But it does bring reality, truth to power, right? That people are preying on our children. There is no doubt in my mind that our children are being preyed upon. And that's why I tell people, because these stories we can barely cover. We have to be very, very careful on how we cover. Sorry, guys, I got a patch on my neck. My neck is really bad today. So if you guys see me coming, it's because I'm moving around and it's lifting the patch off the area I need. So I got to constantly push the patch back down. Yeah, it's absolutely horrific. And I'm asking you guys, we got 25 people in the chat, okay? There's certainly you guys have time. I mean, it's only 6:30 in the morning. Certainly you guys have time right now to go over to Google and write child or crime, child, and then go over to the news tab, because it has an all tab, sports, whatever, you have these little tabs. Go over to the news tab, and then over to the side, it has filters, and you change that time to 24 hours, because right now it's set for most relevant. You're going to want to change that to 24 hours, and you're going to want to go scroll through that. And you're going to see the pages and pages and pages. Sometimes each day I have more than 10 pages of stories. 10 pages of stories in 24 hours just for the search of crime, comma, child. That is highly disturbing. But I digress. Substances is what brings us here. I truly believe substances is the reason why Courtney lost all of her children, okay? I truly believe that. Let me see if I can get this over. There we go. Okay, so vertical. Hopefully I'm still doing well on the vertical, folks. I'm really sorry if I'm not. We're having some growing pains on the vertical side, and it is causing some keyframes and dropping and a buffering of 4 to 8 seconds. So I do apologize. I will go back and find out what the issue is and start rectifying the issue. We have enough bandwidth in this office to push 2 shows. Actually, we have enough bandwidth in this office to push 4 shows. So, simultaneously. So there shouldn't be any, issues. Mental issues, drugs, that's a possibility. We did read and learn from Stephanie Park. Stephanie Park is who everybody wants to know as Rebecca's real mom. She has raised this child since she was an infant. She's raised all of Courtney's children. She's real mom. Okay. We have egg donor and we have real mom. Okay. So I want to make sure that we understand that egg donor is the one that took out her child and her grandchild. The real mom is grieving the loss of her daughter and her grandchild. So we've got a situation here. But the most shocking situation in this entire story, and we're going to go back through and I'm going to give you guys a little update into this case. But the most shocking right now is everything that we've learned about this case. And then to find out that the sister Kimberly and her fiance are now out of jail. And so what does that mean? In all fairness, what it means to me is that maybe law enforcement jumped the gun in charging them or just swept everybody. Like we have a dead, a deceased woman here. There's an infant missing. You know what? You guys were all around her. You were we got you for dealing drugs. We got you for lying under oath, and we got you two for just being terrible monsters, right? And so I think that kind of is what happened because these were drastic bond changes. We were trying to figure out what happened yesterday because I'm going to be dropping the video. I was meaning to drop it yesterday, but we're going to drop it today after this show about the argument that I was having on TikTok with some people because I started my show and about 25 minutes into my show, I guess we started learning that Richard as well as Kimberly were being released from jail. They were being released and we were confused. They had $1 million bond and a $750,000 bond. We couldn't figure out how in the world these two knuckleheads came up with $175,000. It doesn't seem like this entire family or the generational part of the family even has $175,000 to rub together. So we're questioning this and people are saying the bonds were reduced and we're like, wait a minute, how were the bonds reduced? We don't see any hearing on the books for them. We don't see anything docketed for a reduction in bond or anything like that. So it was a situation that I think that there must have been an emergency hearing. Now, that is an assumption, okay? There's no factual standing or basis for me to make that assumption that they were, potentially, had a hearing. But I don't understand because we're going to learn, and I've got it here. I'm going to be reading this to you, that their bonds were reduced and reduced significantly. This guy here had $1 million bond. 10% of $1 million, folks, is $100,000, okay? And we're hearing he is being bonded. And I'm like, there ain't no way. And if he does have $100,000, well, he's higher up on the D-man food chain than I thought he was. He doesn't look like he's going to be that high up there. He looks like a knucklehead, okay? I'm not going to lie. He looks like a knucklehead. Prove me wrong. I don't know what you guys think a knucklehead looks like, but this is what I think a knucklehead looks like. So this guy looks to me to be a knucklehead. He's being charged with knucklehead charges, right? He's being charged with knucklehead charges. So not only do I think he's a knucklehead, I have some type of receipts to help prove that he's a knucklehead. Okay, so he's out, and that's the first one we're hearing out, and then they're saying Kimberly's out, and I'm like, okay, something ain't right here. Oh, thank you. Phil gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget, Justin for all. Well, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club. I.e. the insane asylum. Grab your straight jacket in your padded room and welcome aboard. And I've got a new, sound for that one. Ready? And we're throwing away the key. I love it. True crime justice. It is nice to see you, Love Bug. It is nice to see you. Good morning, everybody. I don't think I went through the chat and even said good morning. I'm being rude today. I'm not feeling well. Okay, I'm in a lot of pain. This is my last show. If you guys have not looked out, we dropped a bunch of content on TikTok. But we did drop a lot of content. We dropped content on TikTok. We dropped content on Instagram. We dropped content on my personal Facebook page, my Bullhorn Betty Facebook page. So if you are not, and I'm starting to drop things on Rumble and Truth Social. So if you guys are not hooked up or plugged in, we've got content for everyone. You don't like politics? Great. We've got true crime. You don't like true crime? Great. We got politics. Whatever your heart desires, Betty's your dealer, okay? I want to be a dealer too. I'm just saying. I'm a dealer in information, folks. I'm a dealer. Good morning. All right, let me get through some of my intro here. Where the heck is my Word document? There it is. Hey. Good morning, everyone. I'm Bullhorn Betty, and we cover true crime. We are the loudest channel on these streets. Turn your volume down. We are coming a little early, and it's because I'm in a lot of pain. And yesterday I had to nurse my back, something fierce. It feels a little better today, but not much better. I've been having major muscular or neuro issues. I don't know what's going on with me. I've just been in a lot of pain, a lot of back pain. Is it the change of weather? Is it frustration? Is it depression? Is it something more? Is it breathing issues? Is it lung issues that's causing the pain? I don't know. I feel like I'm breathing fine. I'm not sick. I never get sick. When is the last time you guys actually seen me sick? You guys never see me sick. I don't come in here with snotty noses. I have allergies, right? So I never get sick. I don't know what's going on with me, but I've been in a lot of pain. So I've been kind of laid up. I'm not going to lie. I've been laid up. I've been doing a lot of work from bed. And I don't like doing work from bed. I don't mind doing shows like here and there, like if we're doing Bedhead Betty shows. I don't mind being in the bed, but I don't like being there all day, okay? And my coffee is in the frickin'... Okay. So this is what we're going to do. Let me get through this intro. I'm going to get the video started so we can get it going. And then I'm going to sneak off and I'm going to go get my coffee because I'm out of coffee and I got a full pot of coffee at the coffee maker that needs to come in the office so we can have some coffee. So good morning, everyone. Today's show is one of the most disturbing and emotionally heavy cases we've covered in a very, very long time. This is the case of a 22-year-old pregnant mother, Rebecca Parks, whose body was found deep in the Manistee, if I'm pronouncing it right, National Forest with her abdomen mutilated and her baby was missing. New developments broke yesterday that two people charged in connection with this case, one directly connected and one that was unconnected to this case, they were released, which include her sister and her fiance, are now out of jail after their bonds were dramatically and drastically lowered. We don't know why they were reduced. We're trying to locate that information right now. It is my assumption that one of two things happened. If there was no bond reduction hearing before a judge, the only other way I can assume that their bond was lowered is what somebody had said in our chat earlier, and that means somebody got a plea deal. Somebody was singing like a canary. And part of that, them singing like a canary, was reducing the bond to $5,000 and walking. But if that's not the case, then because their charges have not been changed, okay? Their charges are still the same. Both of their charges are still the same. Richard still has the substance charges, and Kim still has the lying to law enforcement and tampering with evidence charge. Those charges never went away. Those charges never were lowered. The only thing that was lowered for both of these people allegedly were the bonds. So I want to just clarify that, because I know people are going to ask, even if you don't know you're going to ask yet, there's going to be a time you're going to ask the question. So I just wanted to give you the answer before you have to ask. So we're going to break down everything. We know what authorities are not saying, what the bond reduction actually means, and where the investigation goes from here, especially regarding this missing infant. Now just remember, folks, the infant still has not been found. It is almost an abomination at this point, because we have this feeling, we keep wondering. Here's the issue, and sorry I'm not reading the chat just yet, because I've got two. I need to get a third screen. Once I get a third screen, I think we'll be doing good, but I'm only on two screens right now, so just bear with me. What I truly believe happened, I have two theories when it comes to this child, okay? That they wanted to keep this child, but this child succumbed to whatever this trauma this child had gone through to be brought into this world. Just horrific. Just, I can't even, the thought of this case and what we're really talking about here really gets, just, it unnerves me. It gets to a piece of me that makes me angry. I will be honest with you. I'm angry when I'm covering this case, because it's disgusting. It's deplorable. And I don't understand humanity sometimes. I just don't understand. But this child was either succumbed to his injuries, or what was the real reason for taking this child? And I'm sorry. I mean, Justin For All is in the chat, right? And we both covered Michael Monkey Vaughn, and we're now learning some of the details of Michael Monkey Vaughn. And there was a Adrian Lewson that, was talking about $10,000 a head, blonde hair, blue eye. What's going for, got to be careful here, but, what's kind of going for infants? I'm sorry, I don't trust people. I don't even trust our medical people anymore, right? Because they look at us, and now that we have organs and all the stuff they're doing all over this world and in our own country with organs and organ production and stuff like that, every single one of us, all they look at us as money in their pocket. Like, I'm scared to even go to the hospital. God forbid, I'm scared to even have any surgeries. What if they decide my organs are more important than the surgery, and all of a sudden I get too much anesthesia, right? But my organs are good. I mean, I'm sorry. It's getting to that point where I question everything, okay? And you guys might be saying, Betty, you're losing it. Well, we've covered a lot of stories on here. Let's not forget the guy. And we just covered the guy. It was this year too, right? Right? You guys remember the guy? He got into an accident or something like that. And, he's going down there. He's waking up. They're transporting him to the OR because he's an organ donor. Transporting him to the OR because he's an organ donor. And he's moving, and they're trying to say, oh, this is involuntary movement. Involuntary movement. This guy's trying to pull the freaking crap out of him. Yeah, I'm alive, right? And they're trying to say, oh, this is just, artificial, movement from the gases in the body. We still have to slice and dice. We need those organs. And they're like, wait a minute. No, we're not doing this. This guy's moving way too much. He's alive. And they're like, you're either taking those organs or you're not. And the guy is waking up on the freaking OR while they're trying, and they had to go get another freaking, because the doctor's like, I'm not touching this patient. And the hospital still wants the damn organs. This guy's literally waking up and the hospital still wants the damn organs. They're ready to commit homicide to do it. I'm like, nope. I went out and took organ donor off my driver's license. After that story, I took organ donor off my driver's license. You ain't unaliving me to get my organs, baby. Hell to the nah. Hell, and that shows you just how far people come, because that organ donor thing was something that we were going to do to help other people, and now it's become a multi-billion-dollar organization and money, right? So now we got to be very careful about that, because now we're worth more dead than alive. Okay? And that's a situation we created for ourselves because we wanted to do the right thing, and somebody exploited that. And now we have to worry about the hospitals. You guys remember me covering that story, don't you? Like, this was crazy. It's unnerving. This stuff happens. Like, truth is truly stranger than fiction. You got doctors telling the hospital the man's alive, and they're saying, no, he's not. The hospital administrator's saying, if you don't take those organs, we're going to get a doctor down here that will. What? The guy's fine, too. He's a little slow. He came out of everything. He can talk. He can walk. I'm like, oh, my gosh. Like, they were really ready to commit homicide for these organs. Like, these hospital administrators didn't give a shit. Okay, we're getting off topic. Okay. All right, guys, let's get back to this. So we're learning about this case, but listen to this. So while we were learning about this case, while we were learning that Richard and Kim were being released, it started telling me a sign for them to have a drastic, and I think this is very important for all of us, because let's face it, they had $1 million bond and a $750,000 bond. There's no reason for a judge to really come off that, right? There's only one reason why a judge would come off that bond, period. And that's if, in my opinion, they now know that these two people were not, and of course over here for over here for the vertical people, right here, these two people, I don't think that they were as involved as law enforcement originally had thought. And I think that they realized that it was, I think it was over the top if they had nothing to do with this. They're grieving the loss. I mean, let's look at Richard Fowler. If he had nothing and no involvement in his fiance's death, whether we think he's a disgusting piece of crap or not, because let's face it, all these guys are RSOs. I found that out yesterday too. And it sounds like Richard Fowler is an RSO. So I already don't like him. But in all fairness, it doesn't matter about my opinion. Is he involved? Did he commit this crime? And if he did not commit this crime, we're looking at a man that just lost his fiance and his child. Okay, so I'm not going to sit there and say that this man deserves to be in jail if he had no involvement in his fiance's. I mean, he should have time to grieve. I think that if the details are true and he had no involvement in his fiance's disappearance, homicide, or anything else, he lost a fiance and a child, okay? And he's thrown in jail. That is beyond over the top mentally, for mental anguish, you know? And I think that they have to balance this, because you know, Kim is also, if she really didn't have the involvement, or her biological mother coerced her into doing something for her, she just lost a sister and a nephew. And, you know, she's got to grieve as well. Now, I don't know how to take this. I don't know how to take Richard or Kimberly, but I'm going to trust my gut in this. And I'm going to say that we're not going to have judges go from $1 million down to $5,000 unless something major changed in the case. And the only thing I can think that majorly changed in the case is that they most likely had no involvement, no actual physical planning or involvement in Rebecca Park's disappearance, torture, or homicide. And I've got to trust that, right? I've got to trust that that judgment because we don't have anything else to go on at this point. The information is very scant on why there was a reduction. I haven't received anybody reaching out to me saying they did have an emergency meeting on the bail issue. I haven't. There is that possibility as well. There's a possibility that they gave law enforcement something in exchange for the lower bail so they could go home and grieve the loss of their nephew, son, and family member. But she did have abdominal mutilation. Authorities immediately determined this was not natural, not an accident, and not wildlife, wildlife doing that to her. They did find out and thought it was Rebecca pretty soon, but they couldn't confirm it without the medical examiner confirming it, because that's the proper chain of command and protocol with any law enforcement body in a case like this. So this escalated into a homicide investigation. I was kind of hopeful with all these people appearing to have substance abuse problems. It seemed to me, I was hopeful, that maybe these folks were trying to save the baby versus trying to harm the baby or harm the mother. Because of the substances and the charges of the fiance, it was hard for me not to consider that she could have succumbed to maybe substance abuse or a specific use at that time, and then she just succumbed, being pregnant and all. Your body has some changes going on. Maybe something you were able to do before you were pregnant, you're not able to do while you're pregnant, or not allowed to, can't have the same amount that you once did, or whatever the case may be. But I was hopeful that, this person was trying to be helpful. But the details that we learned, and I'm going to show you guys these real quick. Let me go ahead and pull this up and make sure I got it in the right spot first. It's this one right here. I think this one right here is the one that kind of shows you the prosecutor. I want you to hear this.
Of Rebecca Park are now charged with her death.
And those charges giving us a glimpse of what investigators say happened to the 22-year-old and her baby.
Rebecca's biological mother and stepfather, Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew, in court today on 8 charges each.
Now, we are warning you, the details of this case are very difficult to hear. Up North Live's Tony Lundy joins us live from the Wexford County Courthouse, where the couple was charged with the murder of Rebecca and her baby. Tony, what was the atmosphere like inside that courtroom today?
Well, Melissa and Mark, the courtroom was packed with family, friends, and others from the community, all hopeful to find answers on this month-long case. But many left that courtroom today heartbroken.
The graphic details laid out by the prosecuting attorney describing what investigators say led to the death of Rebecca Park and her baby.
Before we get into this, I do not do trigger warnings on this channel. I think we're all adults. This is a 18 and up channel. We talk about true crime. However, because of the details of this particular matter, I am putting a trigger warning up, okay? What you are about to hear from this attorney is going to be rough. Can somebody type me up trigger warning, one of my mods, so I can put this up before we start? There we go. Thank you, Sonia. Appreciate it. All right, guys. So this is going to be a little rough, but again, if you guys don't have the stomach to hear it, this would be, come back in about 30 seconds, I would presume. Yeah, I would say about 30 seconds, 45 seconds. But I'm about to play it now. Again, highly disturbing information. If you do not have the ability to listen to this, this is a great time for you to exit stage right for a few moments.
The accused, Rebecca's biological mom, Courtney Bartholomew, and stepdad, Brad Bartholomew.
They brought Rebecca Park to their home. They forced her into a vehicle and took her into the woods, where they stabbed her, forced her to lie on the ground while they cut her baby out of her, ultimately causing her death and the death of the baby.
The courtroom was filled with the same people who desperately searched for Rebecca.
So again, highly disturbing allegations against her own mother at this time. Let me get this off this. I just realized we have a little small, tiny line going through me. There we go. So I don't like it, but this is not why we're here. We're actually here. What is this one? Okay, that's that. We're actually here because of this. We started watching this yesterday, and we were on our just set up because I was running the show from the room, and I thought that you guys really really needed to see Stephanie's face while she was giving this interview, because you know, even though hindsight's 2020, this is when she was talking to Courtney before Courtney was arrested for these horrible charges, okay? And the reason why it's important is because I'm coming into this after Courtney is arrested. So, you know, people can say, oh, yeah, well, you know what the outcome is. So you could have said that this doesn't sound right, or that doesn't sound right, or this doesn't sound right. Well, I trust Stephanie enough to know that she picks up on the cues that I am accustomed to picking up on as well. So I figured since she was here, and I'm very familiar with her because I'm on TikTok, and she's got a great following on TikTok, and I love watching her videos on TikTok. I did not realize she was here on YouTube, and now I see she does have a channel here on YouTube as well. So I'm all in. I'm all in on her YouTube channel as well as her TikTok. Very good woman. I like the way she does things there. She's definitely very calm, cool demeanor, very good head on her shoulders, very quick thinking. And so as I was listening to this, because it was just sent to me while we were live, and so we were all watching it and listening to it at the same time together. And it's like, you know, I was kind of betting that she would pick up on certain cues, because I could tell right then and there that that was a red flag for me. That would have been picked up. If I was doing this interview, I would have picked up on that flag, and she did. And she questioned it, and that's what I like about it. I want to let you guys know that this shows you the kind of good interviewing I like to see. Everybody thinks that because you disagree with somebody, or you think maybe somebody may be guilty, that when they're on your show, you've got to be deplorable to them, or you got to be rude to them, or you somehow shouldn't show that person the respect that you show your other audience members that come up that may be more likable. And I always say that that's not, you know, you have to show even the people, whenever you bring them up, like I talk mad cash shit about, you know, a lot of these horrible parents, right? But if they came up on my show, you guys would be probably a little disgruntled with me, because I would treat them with respect while they're on my show, because it's what you do. It doesn't matter whether I agree with them. It doesn't matter whether I think they're homicidal maniacs or not. It matters about getting the information and asking the questions that I have, not being accusatory, but letting them walk right into that. There may be some things that you have to be a little more hard-hitting on, but for the most part, you can keep a calm, cool demeanor while interviewing somebody and still hit back. And I think that that really is displayed here in how Stephanie and her co-host are handling this interview and handling. Now, her co-host, I can't see her face, okay? I can't see anybody's face except Stephanie. I love that about her. She loves, you know, she doesn't hide her face, even when other people do. I'm one of those people, I'd love, like when I have an interviewee, I'd like to see their face while I'm interviewing them. And one of the reasons why I like interviewing people face to face, right? Boots on the ground, face to face, because it's kind of hard for them to hide, or, you know, you get the whole view of their entire body. It just makes, for me, it's easier for me. It's a lot easier for me. But I digress. It didn't matter with this one. This story was so over the top to begin with. Like, we only listened to 13 minutes of this story, and it was so over the top just with what was being said that I wouldn't have, I much like Stephanie, I didn't believe it. You can kind of gauge Stephanie's face. You know, you can kind of gauge what Steph is saying here, you know, just by looking at her face. And that's what you guys were missing last night when I was showing it, you know, just on the portrait mode. So let me go ahead and get this up here and get this adjusted for my portrait mode people. Oops, maybe that wasn't it. Hold on, just screen share. Sorry, I have the wrong one. I had the wrong one up. Give me just a second. I've got to change this and make this bigger for my people at home on the Sorry, guys. Give me just a second. I'm trying to do too many things. But I've got to get this situated for the folks on the... there we go. There you go. All right. I think that's going to be good. On the landscape view. You guys over here, you guys are just treated like trash over here on the horizontal. We don't really care about you. I'm just joking. Aw. Aw, Betty. I know. I'm a pain in the butt. All right. There we go. There we go. Okay, guys. So just to inform everybody here, okay, if you guys see this is Stephanie's co-host right here. I don't know her name. I'm really, really sorry. I'm not really I do work a lot on TikTok, but I don't watch a lot of people on TikTok. I go there to do my job, and I hit it and quit it, baby, just like I do over here on YouTube. I hit it and quit it. Okay, this right here is Stephanie, if you don't know. And then right down here is Courtney. Now this is Courtney's story before she disappeared. Let me actually just get you guys all on the screen share here. There we go. There we go. You guys on vertical, you will not see the chat. Unfortunately, I didn't set up the chat on that stream, on the one that you guys are viewing currently. For the folks that are on the horizontal, you guys will be able to see chat. Let's keep going.
Brutally murdered in prison, and there is still a hit on her.
Right back, folks.
When I asked, and True Crime can say this, when I asked Kimberly about the rugs, she was very vague. She didn't want to talk about it, but she said that she was a CI and that there was a few things going on Friday. I don't want to get into it too much, but she said that she was working for Wexford County.
Who was?
Kimberly.
Kimberly is an informant? I don't...
That's
What you guys see here, you guys see Stephanie's face. Like, she's already starting to say, okay, wait a minute. We just went from, and I can tell you, I'm not going to say I can tell you exactly what she was thinking, right? I don't know. Let me see, Sebastian, let me get back a screen. Hold on, guys. I got to lock this in so it doesn't change on you when I change to like there we go. All right, guys. So, where are we going here? Just chat. No, Summer Wells. There we are. Okay, so now you guys can all see my face. Sorry about that. But as you see, you can clearly see her face, right? Her face is kind of like, okay, you just told me that her second baby daddy has a hit out on her, right? So that's what she started this whole thing was. There's a hit out on her daughter from the second baby daddy that's in prison, right? Is that what we all heard? Raise your hand if that's what you heard. All the people that are in here, raise your hand if that's what you heard. What the heck happened here? Check out our political. You guys are still here. Are we still streaming? We have any problems with streaming right now? Looks like we have a little bit of problems. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, there you guys are. I didn't know if it froze up my stream or not, because nobody. We might be a little more laggy than we expect to be. Okay, so there's the hands. Perfect, guys. Perfect. Okay, so we have our hands up right now, saying that we heard her say baby daddy gonna got a hit out on baby mama, and then now she's turning to the daughter. So we have plan B1, and now she's like, maybe she's not buying that. Well, let's go with plan B2, right? These are all acting in real time, and you can see Stephanie, which again, she's seasoned. Okay, this is not her first rodeo, and she's saying, okay, this ain't right. Something ain't right here, right? Something ain't right here. So let's go ahead and go back just a little bit. I want you to pay attention. The whole reason why I'm bringing this up right now is I want you to pay attention to Stephanie's face. It's the only face we got, but it's the one that's telling us the most about how she's feeling as this woman's telling her this story. Oh, Alicia, it's nice to see you, love bug. It's nice to see you. Oh yeah, and I modded a few of you. I modded a few of you on my TikTok, the ones that I see you. So me and you and who else was over there? Crystal Pistol. Me and you and Crystal Pistol, you guys are now a couple of my mods. I'm going to be building my mods over there. I don't want a situation like yesterday. I don't have the patience for that. I've never had, there's been a couple times recently in just the recent history that people on TikTok are getting unruly and thinking they can talk to me like they are talking to me. We ain't playing that over on TikTok. I'll tell you that. So for the first time, I am modding some people, and the rules are if people don't know how to talk to people, it's zero policy, just like here. They get blocked. If you have the ability, I made sure you guys have the ability to block people. So everybody, people act out of line on TikTok, block them. I don't need the viewership. Okay. If people don't know how to talk to people and how to be a human being, then I don't want them in my chat. I don't want your nasty garbage in my chat. And it's just that simple. So anyways, I'm glad we got it cleaned up here. This was the worst channel, and now it seems like some of that has gravitated over to the other channel. Hey, Motive means an opportunity. It's nice to see you. MJ, good morning. It's nice to see you, Love Bug. Megan Nels, zero tolerance. That's it. Zero tolerance. I just don't have the time for it. I'm not a babysitter. I don't have children, and I'm not going to have children in my chat. Okay, I'm just not. That's my line in my sand. And there's no exceptions. There's no exceptions. So we've got her. Let's just watch her expressions. Her expressions are classic.
Informant? I don't.
That's what she's.
See, this is
look at her
this is the
face.
thing with
Stephanie's
informants.
like, okay,
usually
I ain't
they
buying
don't
this
come
shit.
out and talk. Usually they don't.
Like Stephanie's like already like yeah. Like the minute she started talking about the informant, she rolled her eyes. She looked up. She's like, she's trying to cover her face because she's like me, our face tells the story. Okay. And I think Stephanie's kind of like that. I think her face is telling the story, and I think those hands are trying to cover up the story. She doesn't want anybody to see expressed on her face just yet. So she's trying to keep it all under control.
Exactly. That's what I told her. I said, if you were an informant, you wouldn't be telling me what you're telling me. And things aren't making sense. Her house has never been searched.
So she's pissed off that her daughter's house has not been searched. I know she has, like, look at her face. I mean, come on, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know if you know who Stephanie is. Okay, to me, the chick doesn't seem like she's buying it. Okay, I'm sorry. This is why I was telling you guys last night when I was running this story on the show. I was looking at that. She's like, okay, yeah. Like, I feel like this lady can buy I'm gonna put this on. We're just gonna stay on Stephanie's face, okay? Because I think Stephanie's face is kind of the winner chicken dinner in this story, okay? Because this lady is talking to her, and I was like last night, I was like, because I'm holding the phone flat, so I'm not looking at her expressions. And so we're listening to it, and then I look down, and as this woman, because I'm like, okay, this is a red flag to me. This conversation is a red flag to me. And I look down, and Stephanie's face, it was like this, and I'm like, you guys have to see this lady's face. Like, we have to run this story on the show tomorrow on the big screen, because her face is the winner. Like, it tells it all. Like, when she's having an interview with this lady, and she's like, okay, that is the I'm not buying this BS. Okay, hold on. We got a button for that. Hold on, we got a button for that.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
Yeah. Just saying. Okay, let's get back to it because there's more.
So, and when it come to the ones that were going to help us search for Becca, the recovery group, she would not give them the pin to the phone that we went and got from Rich.
So they went and got a phone from Rich, which should have went to law enforcement, not some searcher. And the searcher's saying, do you have the code? They're like, no. She's like, I don't want to touch it. They backs out. And then they finally turn the phone over to law enforcement. There's something not right with that. I don't like the way that whole thing transpired, but I digress.
And gave to the recovery group. She wouldn't give them a pin. She wouldn't even try to give them a pin. So they handed the phone over to Wexford County Sheriff's Department and backed away.
Courtney, you just dropped a bombshell on us here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but I've got a million things going through my head on what the hell happened to my daughter. And I'm trying to figure all this out, but everybody's like coming at me for no reason when I'm trying to get the truth out there of what happened. Wexford.
I gotta say, the way she's talking and the way her tongue is hitting, it sounds like she's talking on her cheek. So I don't know this lady. I haven't seen her smile or anything, but it sounds like she's missing some teeth, first and foremost. I can just tell that because I'm wearing earphones. It sounds like she's missing some teeth. But at the end of the day, this whole conversation here is red flags. You heard Stephanie just say a sentence, a very mild, meager sentence of, you just dropped a bombshell on us. And then all of a sudden she's like, well, yeah, because, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with my daughter and everybody's just coming at me. And it's like, whoa, those statements right there are so red flagged because she's got no concern in her mind about her own daughter. Her only concern is about the people coming after her and trying to thwart people or push people away from her onto her own daughter. That's what all of this whole thing. Oh, and because nobody was really buying the boyfriend or the hit. He's in prison, so he must have put a hit out on her. Second baby daddy.
County even changed the time that my daughter was last seen.
So,
go ahead.
So there are messages between you and Kimberly that I've seen on a live that it's between you and Courtney, or you and Kimberly, I'm guessing. But basically y'all were texting and saying, and Kim was saying that she was using reverse psychology on us, and you had asked her why she was on TikTok. And she basically said that she was using reverse psychology, and you said that, one second, I'm gonna read them straight off. You had told her, why are you on TikTok? She said, they wouldn't stop asking me, so I'm defending you. You said you weren't defending me. She said, I'm using reverse psychology, or it says physiology, but I think she meant psychology. You said, you're making it worse. She said, just watch. You said, I can have kids. She said, I said that. And then you said, you just said I had a hysterectomy. You need to tell them. What is that reverse psychology part about?
No clue. Like, she's trying to get everybody to feel sympathy for her.
Do you know?
She only
trying to have everybody just feel sympathy for her. And she said that in such a callous way on the back of one of her daughters missing after being at her own house. So there is that. Guys coming in, if you guys haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button or share or anything of that. We also have goals. If you guys, I could not set it for more than a half hour. I don't know why. I forgot to set it properly, but it is what it is. So if you guys would like to contribute, I appreciate all the love and support. Thanks so much.
Oh, sorry.
when you look at her.
I'm sorry, you cut out. What'd you say?
I said she only cries when you look at her. That's the only time she cries.
Wow, she's like going all
Like, I'm trying to stand.
like I can hear. Look at Steph's face. It's like just like me. It's like wait a minute. Like this mom is like really going scorch earth to have her daughter looked at. No mother does this. No mother in their right mind would ever throw their own child under the bus. And she's going out of her way to try to convince everybody that her daughter is somebody that needs to be looked at. The what? Like Stephanie's face, I think, is the face that we all have. Was it Kim and boyfriend? Yes. DeBoss. Yes, they're bailed out. They're bailed out. I still am unclear on how their bonds were reduced. I didn't see where they had a hearing, a bond hearing. Could that have done it under an emergency situation? Yes, but shouldn't it be docketed? Shouldn't we have information that it was docketed? I mean, everybody that's on Vine, any type of court hearing, they usually are notified by Vine. Nobody was notified that there was a hearing on the bond, and then all of a sudden their bond is lowered to $5,000 from $1 million to $5,000 and $750,000 to $5,000. But whatever. I have to trust the process, right? We don't have control over that, but it's a little shocking to say the least. But it does tell me that for whatever reason, I don't believe law enforcement believes those two people are directly involved in the homicide of Rebecca Park. That's what it's leading me to believe. That's what it's leading me to believe.
For my kids, and she's like faking it. Like, it doesn't even bother her, and it bothers the fuck out of me. Sorry for my language, but it bothers me so bad that I can't even get off my couch because my head is so going crazy.
So you're not looking, and you're on your couch, so you want an excuse for why you're on your couch, yet you see, I have never in my life ever heard a mother work so hard to throw her daughter under the bus before like she is doing Kim. I am shocked. I am literally shocked, folks.
Excuse me.
Look at her.
Courtney, this is your own daughter you're speaking.
Yeah, see, she didn't. And this is what I'm talking about, okay? Now, you can see you guys have seen her process you could literally see in real time Stephanie processing the information that Courtney was saying to her. And this is exactly where I'm speaking of, where I tell you that you can challenge somebody on the information without beating them on the head. And this is why I was saying, because you remember that Terry Lynn interview with Chris Proudfoot, and I said that is the most unprofessional interview. Like, it took me forever because I couldn't stand the foul language. I mean, I'm a cusser and I couldn't stand the foul language. It was horrific. It was the most unprofessional interview I have ever seen. You do not need to act like that and act like a badass or a tough ass to get answers. This is how, the way Stephanie is doing it here is how I like to challenge people when they're in the interview process here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, because this is the proper way to challenge people. And I think it's important because even our audience members, you guys got to understand, when we bring people on these channels, it is not for you guys to beat them up or say terrible things to them or have your 5 minutes to bash them and stuff like that. It's to extract information. It's to get information. It's to ask questions. And the more you beat up the people, the less they're going to be speaking to you. So when they come on this show, we treat them with respect, all of them. And more importantly, the ones we don't like, because we want more information from those than anybody else on our show, right? So remember that, folks. Remember that. So don't be mad at your content creator because they didn't give it to them, right? Because sometimes giving them to them is not the best strategy. Okay, get it? It's not the best strategy. All right, guys, let's get back to it. Just my opinion. Just my opinion.
Of here, do you think, are you trying to insinuate that she might be nefariously involved in this?
I think she knows where her sister is. I honestly do. Her house has never been checked. There's a phone that's missing that was her ex-baby daddy's phone, and it just poof, gone out of thin air, and we don't know where it's at. And she said she had the serial numbers, and then all of a sudden, oh, well, it was changed to a different company. Like, I'm sitting here going, what the F is going on?
See, and Stephanie ain't buying it. Stephanie ain't buying it. Like I said, I like her. You can tell that she's on it. She's on it. I like it. And the mother, you know, she's realizing she's not getting the what she's wanting these people to do, you know, like, oh my gosh, you know, she's getting them asking you, you know, this is your daughter you're talking about. And now she's trying to get a little more angry and more forceful to convince people it has to be her daughter. It has to be her daughter. She has Plan B'd her daughter. If you guys are new to my channel and you don't know what a Plan B is, let me just go over a little bit about what a Plan B is. We consider here, at least in the legal sense, a Plan B is basically a third party you blame the crime on, okay? So Nicole, thank you so much for subscribing to the Bullhorn Betty channel. It's nice to have you. So what they're basically doing is they're making either a fictitious person, or they're taking a third party and they're basically going to try to blame the crime on them. And that is your Plan B, okay? And so when you hear me that they're Plan Bing them, it's not, you know, Plan B contraceptives, okay? It basically means that they're the Plan B. They're the fall guy, okay? They're the fall guy. They're Plan B. So the situation Plan A didn't work out, so now we're going to Plan B. So they Plan B'd, she's Plan Bing her own daughter. She's basically setting her own daughter to take the fall. And so Stephanie is very astute to this. You can tell by her facial expressions, in my opinion, she's not buying the BS, okay? She feels...
Warning, bullshit alert.
And she's probably...
Liar. You a liar.
So I have to kind of think that Stephanie's right there. And again, this is not her first rodeo. She covers a lot of cases, okay? She's reviewed a lot of interviews. She knows when somebody is BSing her, okay? Some people are good, some people are not so good. This lady's not so good. She's got too many theories going in her brain that she's trying to deflect with. And they're becoming hodgepodge, and none of them are making good sense.
And she's like, oh, well, she'll get a hold of us. Like, seriously? Aren't you losing your mind?
Can I oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, it's fine.
Can I ask you a question about somebody?
Yeah.
Who, or not who, I know who they are, but do you know why James is incarcerated right now? What's his charge?
He went back to prison because of his drinking and driving.
And
he got in a vehicle. He got in a vehicle, was drinking and driving, had open intox on his way to go see Kimberly's daughter at the adoptive parents' house.
And does Kimberly speak to him while he's incarcerated?
Yes, she does. She's with her ex-boyfriend's brother, but yet she's still telling my cousin, which is my first cousin and her second cousin, oh, I still love you, baby. I can't wait till you get out.
Did I just hear that right?
Courtney?
Is this James? Kim's second cousin? Can somebody please tell me if that's what I just heard? Please? I'm just saying, like, it sounded like I heard that she's in love with her second cousin, that it's her mama's first cousin. Did I just hear that? We got to go back and hear. I gotta listen to this again. That's certainly not what I heard. Is that what I heard? Is that what I just heard? Hold on. Okay, okay. Maybe I misunderstood. Let me not freak out here. Let me just take it back. Let's just see what we heard.
At the adoptive parents' house.
And does Kimberly speak to him while he's incarcerated?
Yes, she does. She's with her ex-boyfriend's brother.
So she has an ex-boyfriend, and now she's with his brother. Oh, good gracious. Oh, good gracious. Oh, good gracious. Okay, so there's that one. Now, that's not the shocking part. That's not the shocking part. Now, this is where I want to listen. Folks, I need you. How many people do we have in chat right now? We have 79 people at 7:30 in the morning. That's actually not too bad. You guys need to wake up a little earlier. I'm just saying, we got a lot of work to do here. I'm just joking. Okay, so we have people in here. I want you to turn your volume up. Okay? Turn your volume up, folks. Let's listen to what is about to be said. This is where I get confused. This sounds like she's talking about a second cousin having relations with her daughter. Let's listen.
But yet she's still telling my cousin, which is my first cousin, and her second cousin, oh, I still love you, baby.
Oh my gosh. This case is just disturbing. Every time I turn around, this case is just even more disturbing. This is just like, what in the world is going on in this area or with this family? Like this family, like if you, this does not look good on the entire family. You guys understand that. The entire family. This is bad. This is out there. And you know, if this is going on somewhere in frickin' Michigan, this is happening in other places of the country. This is not a unique, just like that Castro guy. We were just on Nick the Hat's channel talking about Amanda Berry and the De Jesus and, you know, the other girl that were abducted and AR'd and tortured and, you know, kept as captive, you know, beings and whatever the case may be. And, you know, I mean, that was bad, but we knew that if that happened in the middle of Cleveland, Ohio, we knew there was more houses like that around this country. We know that there's other people that are missing that nobody knows is still alive that is in a freaking dungeon. We know that because there was this case that we didn't know about. And people pretty much wrote all three of those girls off as deceased. And here they were in a freaking, what do they call it? Basement of some creep's house, tied up and chained. It's crazy. Just crazy. And so this is kind of getting right up there with the like, we already heard the details of mom doing this to her own biological child. That was already crazy enough, but now we're starting to get to that NISCST area, the taboo area of this story. And this is kind of like shocking. Like, you know, how does anybody not think that this is not a recipe for freaking disaster from either sides of the family? I'm just a little confused here. You know, this is a recipe for disaster, folks. This is a recipe for disaster.
I can't wait till you get out.
Courtney, can you
Oh, yeah.
can you straighten up something for me? Because I'm a little confused on this as well. What is up with this 3 a.m. phone call to the gas station? Did you make it? Did Kimmy make it? Can you elaborate more?
It was for my dad. Brad did bring that to my attention that
What? I
it was
missed
for
that.
my dad.
I missed that. Hold on. I missed that. Sorry, guys. I missed that. Let me just go back a few moments.
Call to the gas station. Did you make it?
Hold on.
What is up with this 3 a.m. phone call to the gas station? Did you?
So we're hearing about a 3 a.m. gas station.
Did you make it? Did Kimmy make it? Can you elaborate more?
It was for my dad.
3 a.m.
Brad did bring that to my attention that it was for my dad.
So Brad called the gas station. What is the name of that gas station?
West Cullen, Cadillac, Michigan. And we had to check and see if they had something that my dad was needing, and
At
they
3
didn't
a.m.
have it.
Okay, got you.
So they're needing to call a gas station at 3 a.m. because her father needs something at 3 a.m. If my mommy or my daddy called me and said, hey, honey, I need you to call a gas station and ask them blah, 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 blah. It's 3 a.m., Mom. Yeah. Why don't you go back to bed and we will call them first thing in the morning. All right, Mom? Oh, okay. Have a good night. Right? What other person's going to jump out of bed and say, this sounds like a great idea. Let's call the gas station at 3 a.m. Insanity. Insanity. Insanity.
What could, and do you live with your dad or take care of your dad?
No, my
So dad just wakes up in the middle of the night and calls them. And if he was going to call them, why couldn't he call the gas station himself? This is crazy. Do you guys notice something? Let me just bring this to you guys, just ever so little bit. Do you guys see how she keeps changing the story a little bit? She keeps changing the story a little bit here. She keeps changing the story a little bit here. And it just really doesn't make sense, right? Like, who wakes up at 3 a.m. and starts calling their daughter and saying, hey, can you call, this thing? If you're not living with your parent and they can pick up a phone and call you, why can't they call the gas station themselves? Literally makes no sense whatsoever. None whatsoever. But the reason why it's so important and why I'm emphasizing this is because we need to learn these things, right? Because people wonder, why do I not believe Katie or Chris Proudfoot? Well, it's kind of something like this, right? Where their story keeps changing and there's no explanation on why their story keeps changing, right? Just like this lady went from the baby daddy, the second baby daddy putting out a hit on baby mama to now it's the sister that must have done this because, she didn't have her house searched. So she must be the one that did something to this, to her sister. Right. And so the stories are kind of changing on that. And then now you're they're diving into this other aspect. But what you're noticing is that, they're asking about this 3 a.m. phone call, just like they were asking about the thud, right? And the thud time changes, the reason for the thud, what was said changes ever so slightly, but it changes. And so it's important because liars change their story. And we have a lot of liars when we're debuting some of these cases. MJ just keeps saying it gets worse. I just look up. I look up and there's MJ. It gets worse, keep going. It gets worse. It gets worse, keep going. It gets worse, keep going, Betty. Keep going. We're not there yet. I guess when we see MJ say Yahtzee, I guess we'll get to the worst part of it, because apparently this isn't bad enough. Okay? So far, this isn't bad enough. That we have incestuous things going on in the family, taboo things going on in the family, and grandmothers ripping grandbabies out of the womb. I mean, this is a crazy freaking story, and I don't know how we're going to process it. But at the end of the day, it is a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot to handle. It's a lot to go over. But let's just keep going. I mean, apparently, according to MJ, it gets worse. Just when you don't think it gets worse enough, and that this isn't bad enough. Like, this is bad, but not bad enough, apparently. We got to keep going. It gets worse, folks. It gets worse.
My dad lives in Cadillac.
What could he need?
So her dad lives in Cadillac. So it sounds like her dad lives a distance away from her, too. And Stephanie's picking up on this. I could hear her already asking the question. I hate Michigan. I gotcha, MJ. But, and she's like, and she's saying, oh, he lives in Cadillac. So she picked up on that, and she's already asking the question. So let's listen.
What could he need at 3 a.m.? Are you guys normally night birds and this is your normal time to be awake?
See, again, you don't need to be rude to your interviewee, to ask very tough questions and very calmly. You see how much... Now, do you think if she says, like, come on, who believes... What were you doing at 3 a.m., right? Do you think somebody's going to answer that? Or do you think somebody's going to answer the question the way she presented it? You see what I'm saying? She's going to probably get an answer.
We were awake because we sat here waiting for Rebecca to come back. That's why we were awake.
Okay, well, we ain't buying that shit.
And my dad was awake because he was just awake.
Nah, we ain't buying that crap either. No, but and again, the father's not with her. If the father can pick up the phone to call her on the phone, certainly he can pick up his own phone to call the gas station himself. Just saying. Just saying. Just in case people don't understand the dynamic here, okay? Just saying. Interesting.
My dad is like 72 years old, and yeah, my dad thinks he's a spring chicken.
Okay, so her other daughter's the one that has something to do with her other daughter being disappeared, and her father that's all the way, somewhere in Timbuktu. He thinks he's a spring chicken, but he's not a spring chicken, but he can call her, but not the gas station at 3 a.m. in the morning. Got it. He's got to wake up the whole neighborhood. Got it. He needs help to figure out how to make a phone call, even though he's on a phone making a phone call. Got it. No problem. Ooh, that was a nervous
My
laugh.
dad would have been 80 years old next May, so he's been going 20-something years now, but
sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I hate to be so nosy, and I know it's not any of our business. Can you tell us the thing at the gas station that he needed?
Oh, she's
It
taking
was like oil or something for his car.
Come on!
I don't.
Come on! She didn't know what to say. You see how that worked? She didn't know what to say, and the first thing that came to mind popped out of her mouth. Because what do you go to the gas station for? You're either going to a gas station for gas or oil, all right? Or candy, snacks, something like that. And you're telling me you called up to a gas station to see what? If they had oil in stock? Oil. We're going with oil, folks. I'm just letting you know. Apparently, we're going with what's behind door number 3, and it is we called to see if there was oil in stock at 3 a.m. in the morning. Is there any gas station that doesn't sell oil? I don't know if I've ever went to a gas station, even one that just has a little thing, and they don't have a place to go and get some motor oil. Even that crappy, recycled crap, which some people buy. I don't know why anybody buys recycled oil, but hey, whatever. I mean, we recycle everything. Why not oil? But it's only the most expensive engine you own, right? But hey, put recycled stuff in it. I'm not doing that, but oil. Okay, so it's usually full of oil. Maybe that's what she called. Maybe she needed to call the gas station to find out where the oil went for her father. Maybe he didn't know quite where to pour it. I don't know. Now it's getting a little, we're making a little light of it. We're being a little satire-y, but you talk about, I mean, this is just straight.
That was bullshit.
To me, it seems like, and I think that these are good things because we know she's lying. And it just shows you when you put somebody on the spot and they have to think of a lie, how ridiculous it sounds when it pops out of their mouth. But their mind, they're under pressure. Their mind is just constantly trying to roll at 3 a.m. to boot. I know. And she's saying he's 70-something years old. I don't know about you, but my neighbor falls asleep during the day in his freaking recliner. And you're telling me that they're up there having a party at 3 a.m. in the morning? Okay. I mean, I do know we do have some somniacs. Don't let me, Maybe he was going to the roller derby the next day. Maybe he just needed the oil in there. Maybe he was leaving at 5. Maybe he was leaving in an hour and he just needed to get the oil in his car. He got to go. He gonna be running for NASCAR, folks. He got to go. I don't know.
Remember? Do you remember what it was? No? But I don't remember either. We just got too much going on. And something little like that is just not something we're gonna remember right now.
Oh! So I guess they're up all the time at 3 a.m., I mean, making a phone call to a gas station would seem like a memorable thing, would it not? It doesn't seem like something that we would do on a regular basis. It seems like something that would most definitely stand out because it's not something that's normally done. When I'm about my day, think about it like this. When we're all about our day, right? We come in here, we work our day. We go about our day, we do the same thing over and over again, the mundane part of our life, right? But if we do something that's out of the ordinary, like say up at 3 a.m. in the morning, dad calling at 3 a.m. in the morning, me having to call the freaking gas station at 3 a.m. That seems like something that would stand out, that would be memorable. Like all the mundane stuff, we know we did it. We may not know exactly the specific date and time or the specific time in the timeline we did it, but we know that we would have done this, and this. And we would have known because I have landmark things. I would have known that this weird thing happened at this point. It happened before this and after this, but before this. I may not know the exact time, but I would know that it had happened after this activity, but before this activity, and we can kind of estimate when stuff like that happened. And it would stand out. Like if I was calling up there, it seemed like she knew that they called at 3 a.m. She knew that they called the gas station at 3 a.m. And it seems like that she knew that they called up there for allegedly oil at 3 a.m. But all of a sudden it just becomes when she realizes to herself this story doesn't make sense. Well, it's kind of hard for me to remember, and for the rest of us, that's not true because it was an out of the ordinary activity. Therefore, would have ingrained in the brain a little more than the mundane. Okay, not to be rhyming, but that is the truth. That's how it works. Just saying.
Have you heard from the police today at all?
No. Nope, I have not.
I I was on a panel earlier and I spoke to Kimmy and I asked her if Rebecca had any sort of survival skills in wilderness. And she said not for this long. Would you agree with that?
I don't know if she would or not. I can't really answer that.
Because she wasn't in her
But I
life.
do know this. Kimberly and the adoptive mother went, according to Kimberly, now I don't know how true it is because she's been lying a lot, went and got her medical records, gave them to the sheriff's department, and when she got back here, because she had my vehicle, she was like, oh, well, now I can go get guardianship of her. Like, was this planned so that you could get guardianship of your sister and your adoptive mom could? Or, like, what the hell? Why would you do that to your sister?
That doesn't even make sense.
Because people are going to look at her now and think, oh, well, we got to do something because she can't take care of this baby if she's out of state or whatever, you know? They're making her look really bad.
Sounds like, are they talking about the kid, the baby boy that was allegedly abducted? I'm getting, because she's talking about taking the child away from her sister, so they got to be talking about the baby that's in her belly. Okay, let's go back here. Hold on, guys, we're going back a little bit. Let's listen to this all over again.
If mom could, or like,
see her? She's saying she's spinning. Okay, so let's go back here.
Like, was this planned so that you could get guardianship of your sister?
Let's go back.
Lying a lot. Went and got her medical record. Okay. Do you know this? Kimberly and the adoptive mother went, according to.
So according to Kim, this is what I'm understanding. Just work with me here while I'm trying to break all of this down. It sounds to me like Kim and Stephanie, I think that's her name, Stephanie Park, is the adopted mom, is mom. We're going to call mom. We're going to call bio mom, because bio mom is egg donor. Mom is mom, right? So egg donor, we can call her egg donor. It doesn't really matter to me. But egg donor is basically saying that mom and daughter went to get missing daughter's medical records. So let's keep listening from that. So if you guys don't understand it sounds like Stephanie and Kimberly went and got Rebecca's medical records.
Kimberly, now I don't know how true it is because she's been lying a lot.
Oh, of course.
Went and got her medical records, gave them to the sheriff's department, and when she got back here, because she had my vehicle, she was like, oh, well, now I can go get guardianship of her. Like, was this planned so that you could get
So now she's trying to get guardianship over her sister. Her sister is missing, and they don't know what's going on, and she's got 2 children. It sounds like Stephanie is taking care of Rebecca's 2 other children. So we're going to keep trying to figure this out. This lady's kind of putting a lot of business out here that doesn't make sense. I think she's just trying to deflect as much away from her and onto Kimberly as possible.
Guardianship of your sister and your adoptive mom could? Or, like, what the hell? Why would you do that to your sister? Because people are going to look at her now and think, oh, well, we got to do something because she can't take care of this baby if she's out of state or whatever, you know? They're making her look really bad.
Hold the phone. Another bombshell. You're saying that Kimmy and who went for the medical records?
The adoptive mom.
So, oh, Lord-a-day-day. So they went and got the records. What were they trying to prove? I'm going to address you on the record situation in a second, but first, I want to know what you think they were going to go prove as far as getting guardianship for her, that she was incompetent. They would have to prove some sort of incompetency.
Okay, They went to go get the medical records because they want everybody to know Becca is a little slow, not retarded, but she's a little slow. Okay. They want to prove that so then Kimberly can get guardianship of Becca. And Kimberly can get Becca's records because she's on all of Becca's papers.
What kind of papers?
Like at the doctor's office, like you can sign a form where only this person can get information on you.
They're HIPAA declarations.
So
they had a paper that was drawn up that Kimberly can get all of Becca's records. According to Kimberly. Now, I don't know if
It sounds like any normal. Does it not sound like my mom has? My mom has the ability to call down to the doctor, get my records, everything like that. Like I trust you. That's what that whole form is for. Is when you have a mom or sisters or siblings or something like that. If something happens, your mom can help you. If you need your mom to call down or your sibling to call down and whatever, or if something happens where you're incapacitated or anything, that they'll be able to act on your benefit. They'll be able, yeah, it sounds like exactly, Babs. Is it Babes or Babs? Babes. Yeah, it sounds like Becca trusted Kim. It sounds like any normal Kim stabbed her in the back. I'm not sure just yet. I think this whole thing, I think what we're going to find out is that the reason why Kim got drug into this is because, her mother, her bio mom, tried to plan B her. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is coming from Stephanie Cases. If you guys have not went and subbed her up, again, I've known her for years on TikTok. I didn't even know she had a channel on here on YouTube until yesterday when somebody sent this to me while we were live last night to listen to, and then I realized she's got a channel on here as well. So, love this, love how she handles her business. I like Stephanie. I like Stephanie a lot. I like how she handles her business, and I like her questions. She's very hard hitting. Very hard hitting. Heather, it's nice to see you. Mom said, yeah, I know. But you know what, to be honest with you, I know people are partial to that word and whatever. I used that when I was a little kid. That's all we ever used. We used a lot of slang that apparently is not politically correct to use today, and people find it offensive. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Okay, I'm not one that's really bothered by words. In all honesty, I'm not politically correct at all. I don't believe in political correctness. I think people are over offended, and I think everybody needs to be less offended. Okay, I'm just saying, and so it's just people use words, and people are going to have to acknowledge that words exist whether they like them or not. And, I'm not politically correct. I'm not going to be politically correct. People are allowed to use their words. The words that they have like they took an okay symbol and made it. And when you do something like this, they try to say that you're racist. You're racist for an okay symbol. So I went around and campaigned. Okay. It's still okay to say okay. Right? And so people use that and plastered shit all over social media about me being a racist and stuff like that because I'm over it. I am not politically correct. Okay? When I start hearing things, I will start using the word just to make sure people know how unpolitically correct I am. But we're not going to do that here because we do have, people that are, have mental problems and have educational problems and are slow. And we don't want to be offensive unless I want to be offensive, right? But I'm not, it doesn't bother me too much. I will be honest with you. I know some people disagree with me and that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion too. But words don't bother me like they appear to bother a lot of other people.
Kimberly is telling the truth. I mean, she went and told the whole world that I had a hysterectomy when I didn't have a hysterectomy. Now, get me wrong. Do you have periods when you have a hysterectomy? Because I don't think so.
Well, I don't know what her medical records are. I'm not going to get into it. I haven't been in the ladies' vajayjay, okay? I don't know what's going on from down under. I haven't been in the ladies' vajayjay, but we all know that there are other things than full hysterectomies that can be had, such as tubular ties, cauterizing. There's all types of different mechanisms that can be had, and maybe she said the wrong word, and this lady's saying, I never had this. I mean, do you have this? Do you have that? It doesn't matter. The bottom line is, did she have some some type of surgery done to stop or prevent the ovarian removal? Yeah, there's a lot of different surgeries out there where you don't need, because this is the problem, and many people don't understand. A lot of, especially in younger people, it's never recommended for a full hysterectomy. And why is it not? Because it triggers a whole bunch of adult issues, okay? For example, once you have your hysterectomy removed, then you're going to have different types of hormones. If you don't know this, for young kids that are out there, that you can look this up, you have different types of hormones. So that means you're going to start going through menopause and premenopausal stuff years, decades earlier than what you need to go. You start retaining more weight throughout your history and your livelihood because of that hysterectomy. If you notice, a lot of people that have hysterectomies put on a lot of weight, okay? Not that everybody that gets a hysterectomy puts on a lot of weight, but you put on a lot of weight. You go through a lot of life changes much sooner than you would. So other recommendations are to do things like tubular ties, cauterization, removal of the ovaries, other different things to keep all of the organs inside your body that doesn't trigger those much older issues you deal with, right? You're 20 years old. You're not trying to deal with a 50-year-old hot flash or menopause, okay? So at 20 years old, you may want to consider different options than full hysterectomy. Now, when you're getting close to your 40s or 50s, you may opt to have the full thing taken out, and you're going to be getting into the hot flashes. You're about to have the change of life anyways. Who gives a crap, right? Those are choices that you have to make for yourself. I personally, we have equipment, okay? I don't like surgeries. I don't like medical stuff unless it's absolutely medical needy, and nothing is medically needy unless I am about to die, okay? That's the way I look at life. So guess what? Everything's going to stay with me. The wrinkles, the sagging, whatever, however life is going to be, unless it's killing me, it's going to be what it is, okay? I do not like doctors. I do not like surgeries. I do not like medicine, okay? Some people love it all, okay? I'm anti-big pharma in my life. I know that there's good things from doctors, but I try to live a healthy lifestyle. I keep getting healthier and healthier by the day, and I just want to keep the doctor as far away from me as absolutely humanly possible. That's all. When I'm going for the grave, I want to take a nosedive in it, okay? I don't want to know. I don't want to know that we're coming in for landing, okay? I just want to fall right into the grave, okay? I don't really care for doctors, okay? So if you guys need to know how I want to be, that's how I want to be, all right? When the day comes, we'll find out together, okay? But until then, we're just gonna live. We're just gonna live. All right.
I mean, I have never known a woman to have periods when she had a hysterectomy. Complete hysterectomy.
I have to tell you, going back to the medical records, I'm not saying that you're not telling the truth. I'm just saying that I find it hard to believe that they are giving the medical records because of HIPAA. My mom passed away in 2022 at the age of 66 from early onset dementia.
Poor baby.
So, and she lived in another state. So I had to go in front of a judge in another state and prove to him that I needed to be her guardian. And that is a process of legal paperwork that has to be handled in a court of law. So I'm finding
and I'm pretty confident that guardianships in the United States, I know at least here in Florida, you cannot do pro bono. or excuse me, you cannot do pro se. If I am not mistaken, I am pretty confident that actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and move this to Sebastian. So when I turn it, goes back to this one too. I like this. Did you guys notice that? We're starting, well, you probably don't because you guys are on one channel or the other, but behind the scenes, just to let you know that now I've got them kind of synced. So when I change the transition from the horizontal, it changes the transition over there on the vertical. I hope the people that are on the vertical side, I hope you guys are, I know it was getting choppy yesterday. I changed the bit rate, but I forgot to restart the computer. So even though the bit rate probably has changed, I don't think it's kind of like really reset the bit rate. So I think we're still a little jerky over there. And if we are, I do apologize about that. We're going to keep working at it. I've got plenty of bandwidth in this house to run both shows, so we shouldn't have issues. So it's definitely something behind the scenes that just needs to be fixed and modified for a more smooth and lovely viewership. So I apologize, but again, it's part of our growing pains here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. If you guys don't know, if you're new here or you haven't been here for a while, we have changed the platform. I'm now off of any type of streaming service like StreamYard or Restream RO or Restream IO. I am now on OBS. So OBS is an open source broadcasting system. Okay, it's something that most of the higher execs use as the basis of all programming. Even this is what is used as the launch pad for StreamYard and Restream IO. So we're building our channel, we're building our show, we're building our studio virtually, and it gives me the ability to do a lot more than we were able to do with StreamYard. As you guys can see, I've got a green screen, I'm overlaid over. You don't see me in a box and you know, and down here in the corner or whatever. We have so much versatility on this open source system that we can bring better quality content to you while we're still building it and we're still growing on it. It's going to be a little hinky, so we're going to have some technical issues that we're going to have to work out as we build it. But I'm hopeful that by June of 2026, yes, it sounds like a really long time away, but I promise you it'll be here very quickly. I'm hoping by June 2026, we have all the kinks on this show worked out, and we have a show that's not only being broadcasted to YouTube, but being broadcasted back to all of my other channels and platforms other than YouTube, which we did with StreamYard. We haven't built that into the system yet, but pretty soon our audience is going to grow even bigger because we're going to be back on all the platforms we were once live streaming to when we were with StreamYard. So once we get through all of this, I think that you guys are going to have a much better viewing experience. As you guys can see, I'm coming in crystal clear. We haven't come in crystal clear. My face hasn't been crystal clear on a show in 1080p literally in 4 years. Something happened to StreamYard when they did some conversions and some work, and then I changed to MacBook Pro, which MacBook Pro wasn't really working with. MacBook Pro really doesn't work with any of this editing stuff, okay? It really doesn't. We have to force it to work. I do not like Apple products. I think they're a waste of money. I think people buy the stuff because they think it's trendy and they think they're buying a better product because they're spending so much money on it. But I can assure you, you are not. You are being bamboozled by Apple. Okay, I have worked on Windows. I have worked on Androids. I have worked on them with every ounce of, from different things, from politics to running businesses to running shows. And I can tell you, no matter what I have ever done, Windows and Android has been by far the best. Now, there are some downfalls, and here are the downfalls. Okay, once upon a time, Windows and Android products used to be littered with viruses, okay, and it would disable. You don't have that much anymore. Okay, that all has been worked out, and that's what converted a lot of people from Android over to Apple. But since Android has gotten that fix, a lot of people have stayed with Apple. But Apple is driving up your cost. Apple is driving up your cost over 30% with their third-party pay apps. Every time, the reason why you can't join a membership on an Apple phone is because YouTube refuses to pay them 30%. That's why. And so you have to go the long way to get there. You don't have a button on your iPhone. And that's with a lot of people. You want to know why you can't find this or you can't find that when you're on your Apple phone? Because people don't want to pay the exorbitant cost to be on Apple. So you're eliminating a lot of free and other apps that aren't going to pay Apple what they want. And so all those free apps you're leaving over on Android that could help you be more productive, that could run your business. And you're spending, and now when you're on Apple, you have to buy everything Apple because it doesn't want to work together. And then you have to pay for all of these subscriptions for stuff you get for free on Androids with no subscription. So if you guys like wasting money, Apple is your way to go. If you are completely irresponsible, not a conservative, and don't mind just literally pissing money away, stay with Apple. If you're having a hard time putting food on your table, and you're having a hard time putting gifts under your tree, and you have an Apple phone, it's time for you to convert to a Samsung. I bet you next year you'll have a little more to put under that tree because it's going to save you that much money, literally monthly. Because I guarantee most of the people with Apple are probably paying $20 or more a month just in subscription fees. You would not have to pay those subscription fees with Android. Just saying. You'd be saving $20 right there. $20 a month. That's over $200. That's just one. $200. Tell me your child couldn't get a nice kicks for $200. Tell me you can't afford the Jordans when you have just saved $200. I'm just saying.
Medical records thing, hard to believe.
They signed a thing at the doctor's office where Kimberly can get Becca's records.
It doesn't make sense. This argument doesn't make sense. And,
I can
and
do
Stephanie
it
knows
with my husband where he can get my medical records. But Kimberly is like a big bully to Becca. Like, she tells Becca how she's going to do it, when she's going to do it. And Becca gets so mad about it. And I don't blame her. I would too. But
does anybody believe this mother really cares about either one of her kids? If you believe she cares about her kids, put a 1 in the chat. If you believe this mother is just a monster, put a 2 in the chat. I'd like to gauge my audience.
It's just unreal. And for everybody, I don't know why she's saying that she talked to her at 3 a.m. I don't know. I have no clue. And now Kimberly's texting me saying, I need my effing wallet out of your truck. Well, come get it.
I keep just listening to this woman and to think that she did what she did to her own child. You know, just trying to take myself back, back to that point. And just thinking she's on here talking to Stephanie and trying to throw her own daughter under the bus and put all this blame and just slander her own daughter, knowing that she took her daughter, put her in a car, used a sharp object and did that to her daughter, and then mutilated her stomach, and she's here acting like it's all Kimberly. She has this is like a cold-hearted, excuse my language, just cold-hearted to sit here and be so calm and just throwing all this out there. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, folks. And she's sitting here, and look at Stephanie's face. So far, now that I have Stephanie on the big screen, I don't believe Stephanie believed one iota coming out of this woman's mouth. I really don't. I don't believe it. I wish I would have gotten this before we, yesterday was my first running of the show. And so we got this information. I wish I would have had this. This was dropped several days, a couple weeks ago, this interview. And how powerful this interview is. It just shows you how callous and cold the mom is, the bio mom. Not Stephanie mom, not real mom, bio mom, Courtney.
Does Kimberly have children?
She has one, which she ended up losing her because of the decisions that she made. And CPS was involved from the get-go because her baby daddy being her cousin. Well, that's
Oh my God. So they acknowledge the baby's daddy is her cousin. This is just... This is a messed up family, folks. This is a family that needs a little Jesus. This is a family that we have that they think that the cycle has ended. The cycle, I can assure you, has not ended. Nobody has stopped the detrimental cycle in this household, in this family. It is the same dynamic. Her mother was crappy, lost the kids, went to Aunt Steph. Steph took care of those kids. Now we've got a whole new set of kids coming out because those kids had kids, and now Steph's responsible for those kids too. So everybody, it just cycles these kids, doesn't mind laying down, making babies, spitting babies out, and giving all their children to somebody else, the same person. 2 separate families, 3 separate families now, shoveling the same children to the same person. What happens when something happens to Stephanie? What happens when she loses her life? Or she gets old, or gets in a car wreck, or gets hit by a bus, or something happened, real life happened? Who's going to be taking care of the kids then? Who's going to be taking care of the kids then? This family needs Jesus. This family needs Jesus. This family needs Jesus.
That's not why they're involved. But he went to prison for breaking his first child's arms and legs.
Jeez.
He's not supposed to be around kids.
Is this the guy that won't allow her to come in the house if she gets there after 10:30 p.m.?
No. This is James Mercer, the one that's in prison.
Okay.
So she's with another one, and you know what? And we learned that was because that was her ex-boyfriend's brother. So now Kimberly's with the ex-boyfriend's brother. Kimberly, you need some Jesus. You need a whole host of Jesus. Your sister is about to be buried. Do you understand that, young lady? It is time for you to get your life together. The way you are living your life is sending you all to the grave. You need some Jesus. Kimberly Park, you need some Jesus. You need some Jesus. You need some Jesus, girl. You need some Jesus.
Well, I'm just going to tell y'all right now. If a man tells me that if I get home after 10:30 that I have to find somewhere else to stay,
yes,
I would write in the you know what, hun.
Yeah, real women don't put up with that crap. Okay, only women that like to be told what to do and don't have a backbone for themselves. And trust me, there's a lot of women in this channel that didn't have a backbone that have a backbone now, and they got a pair of balls. So don't ever think that you can't learn some new things. If you're one of these little kitty cats that need to be pushed around by your old man, you need to come over here to the Bullhorn Betty channel and get yourself this thing called a backbone and a pair of balls. Okay, we don't let men treat us like that. We just don't.
And he'd be sitting sleeping outside.
Yep, sure would.
Well, Kimberly's been staying here. Because she was using my truck, so she was staying here so that every once in a while Brad didn't have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and be there by 4 at her house.
Oh, so it seems like Brad is the one that likes to be moving around at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's wait a minute. I feel a deception detective coming out in me. I feel, Mr. Deception. Mr. Deception. I hear you on my shoulder. I hear deception detective on my shoulder. I didn't pick up on this at first. We're a little rusty. We need to dust off the old cards. Because haven't we heard a lot of threes? Right? Didn't we learn something very valuable? From deception detective in the Sebastian Rogers case related to the number 3? Did we not? That's math they're using, keeping them up all hours. Oh, I believe it, Texas. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Sure do. Wait, is he here? No, who, Deception? No, he's not in here. I don't think he is. But we learned the number 3, did we not? And now we're hearing that this guy's up at 3? I've had a backbone my whole life with a mouth to match it. That's why you're over here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We get each other. We get each other. People that are like us, they're not offended by people like us. You know, that's what when people are like us and we're just assertive, we just kind of just throw it all out there. We really don't care. We just do whatever. And, you know, and sometimes people that like walking on eggshells and like sugar-coated crap, they can't handle it. They can't handle the truth, okay? And we're just like, we're not with the foo-foo crap, okay? We just kind of throw it all out there. And people are like, oh, right? But people that are like that don't get so shocked. You know, we're like, oh, you know, they're like, okay, I like this one. We don't have to sit here and wait for 10 minutes to get through the bullshit to hear the real work, you know, the real stuff, right? Well, let me go ahead and soften this up real quick. You know, I just want to make sure that we know that, you know, not every mother is bad. You know, even though we have bad mommies on our show, you know, not all mommies are bad. So I don't want you guys getting offended or thinking that, you know, I'm going to be mean to mommies because I have a bad mommy on my show. You know, we're you know, these bad mommies, you know, we're going to have to try to hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. No, we don't do that on here. We're like, hey, this piece of shit mom needs to go to jail. She needs to have the damn door locked behind her. That's how we do it over here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, okay? I'm just saying, we don't coddle. We're not coddling nobody over here. You're either here for the truth or you're not, okay? You're either here for the truth or you're not. All right, let's get going. Gosh, this whole cousin thing, though. Golly, that's just making me kind of...
Everybody take a breath in. We have 50,000 likes, 1.2 thousand souls in this room right now. If you are in this room and do not follow me, please do so. It is free to do. Tapping is clapping. Let's see if we can get to 75,000 likes pretty quickly.
I like that.
Do you think...
I like that. We're going to start taking that. Tapping is clapping. Tapping is clapping, y'all. Hit that. Start tapping that thumb. Start clapping on that thumbs up. No, I'm just joking.
Do you believe that
Tapping
being
is
on these
clapping.
panels is helping or hurting?
With everybody's opinion, honestly, it's hindering the sheriff's department.
Oh, there we go. Okay, now we got Chris Proudfoot. Okay, we went from Katie Proudfoot to Chris Proudfoot. So if you guys want to know where we've moved to in this case, we now have her acting like Christopher Proudfoot. And Chris Proudfoot has entered the chat, right? Chris Proudfoot has officially entered the chat through Courtney Bartholomew's voice.
it's hindering the family from thinking clearly.
Oh, thinking
It's
clearly.
really
That's a new
hurting
one.
everybody. Everybody posting everything that they're posting. It's not doing any good. Honestly.
I hear Brad, it sounds like in the back a little bit.
I mean, I know everybody's trying to get the word out there about Becca, but
Hold yourself, Stephanie.
the police department.
Stephanie's trying to get that straight face. Hold on, let's let Stephanie get herself situated right quick, because it looks like she's over the it seems like she's over the.
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
She's trying to fix her face right. That's all. She just trying to fix her face, y'all. She's just trying to take the I smell bullshit off her face. That's all she's trying to do. She's just, it's stinky. It's a little stinky up in there. She doesn't want to be rude, so she's letting the gas pass.
Is overwhelmed. They're overworked. They're working 14, 16, 18 hours a day on this, trying to find my daughter.
This sounds like Christopher Proudfoot. If you guys believe this sounds like Christopher Proudfoot, put a 1 in the chat. If you think, oh, come on, Betty, you being a little mean, you're off base here, put a 2 in the chat. 1 in the chat if this sounds like Christopher Proudfoot. 2 in the chat if you think I just want it to be Chris Proudfoot. Come on. Come on. I bet you haters are wishing you didn't unsubscribe now, aren't you? Just saying, you old haters. You guys can't screw with our polls today, can you? Not today, Satan. Not today. We got a good poll going. We don't have any of you animals in here. That's great. Good stuff. Good stuff. So we have, wow. So everybody's saying this lady sounds like Christopher Proudfoot. She sounds like Christopher Proudfoot. Why do we do this? Because we want you guys to see the bullshit, okay? This is why we do this, because if you can smell it from this person, but you couldn't smell it over there, well, when we start comparing it, you're going to start saying, you're right. You're right. That is exactly what Chris Proudfoot did. That's exactly what he did, right? And we're seeing it happen here. And we know where this woman went, and we know what she is convicted of or accused of. She hasn't been convicted yet. We gotta be accurate on that. But she has definitely been accused, and she's been accused of what? What did I say? I think he's accused. He was able to do. I believe his wife unalived her son. I believe he stuck the son somewhere, and I believe that when he disappeared for 24 to 48 or 24 to 20 hours, I believe he went and collected Sebastian and got rid of him for good. I truly do believe that. I truly do believe that. And you hear this woman acting just like him, and we know what she is accused of doing, and she's accused of doing something similar to just like that. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. I'm highly disturbed by this case. I'm highly disturbed by this case.
And it's getting to be a circus, like a full-blown circus.
Still sounds like Chris Proudfoot.
Where could she be? Can you I'm trying to think of where could she be. So
I was talking to a friend, and his son is one of her friends on Facebook, and he was telling me that her hometown went to Tennessee, and then all of a sudden when he went to go look for it again, it was gone.
Oh, so she left Michigan and ran away to Tennessee. Huh. Well, that definitely sounds like Chris Proudfoot we know he went out the front door and he walked out all on his own. And the best part about it is he left no evidence. Audience, meet Chris Proudfoot 2.0, i.e. Courtney Bartholomew.
So I think this Mel Bailey and Josh know where Becca is. If she put in Tennessee and then all of a sudden it was gone because somebody was like, don't do that, they'll find you. I think they know where she's at. The only way to check their houses would be to hit them both at the same time. Or follow them and see if they actually know where Rebecca is.
So you don't know who Mel is personally, just through a friend of a friend?
Mel is Becca's friend's mom. And she contacted me after I talked to Becca's friend. And I don't know her personally. I don't know where she lives, honestly. I don't know any of that. But she did say that she lives in Tennessee. And she was backing Josh pretty hard when all this first started.
Wow, she's pushing the runaway theory. I don't know about you. Aw, third son's 40th birthday today. Well, I don't know what third son's name is, but happy birthday, Lisa B. Always third son. That was a mouthful. Sorry you're not part of the Bullhorn Betty channel, so we ain't singing you happy birthday, okay? Uh-oh, Lisa's getting old. Lisa's gonna smack me. You know, like my mama always told me, it's my birthday, but it's her birthday too. I can already see Lisa. She's throwing eggs at me. Now you gotta clean it. Now you gotta clean up that TV. You gotta clean the egg up off the TV. It's in my eyes a little bit. Move it out the way. Move it out the way. All right, let's get back to this. Why did this thing go out? This is what I don't like about the mouse. 1 minute it's working, 1 minute it's not working. What the hell's going on with the damn mouse? Good gracious. Welcome to, geez, this whole week has been just one big
Oh, well, he was here, he was there, he did this, he did this, he doesn't have this, he does have this, that. I mean, she was backing him like 100%, but he's her ex-husband.
So I know, well, not I know, but have y'all talked to Rich anymore? I feel like he's like fell off the face of the earth.
Me too. I feel that way.
I have not talked to Rich. The last time that I even heard anything about Rich is when we went and got the phone. The night that the recovery group come out.
So you didn't, oh, okay, you're talking about the other day, the third phone?
Yeah.
Okay, are you aware of...
So let's go back. Now we're starting to get into this whole situation with Rick. Now, if you guys know who Rick is the fiance. I want to hear this. This is the first time we're getting into this stuff again. You guys are hearing this for the first time on this show. I'm hearing this for the first time on this show. This is the first time I've heard this interview. I did not have this yesterday. This was sent to me during our show live on the air last night.
Rich's alibi?
Hold on. Let's go back just a little bit.
Okay, you're talking about the other day.
Hold on, let's go back. Okay, we're back.
So you didn't... Oh, okay, you're talking about the other day. The third phone?
I think that's what they call Richard.
Okay,
Rich.
are you aware of Rich's alibi?
So Rich is the fiance. Richard Fowler, F-A-L-O-R. It's Richard, but I think they call him Rich. So it's Rich. I noticed that in TikTok, everybody's calling him Rich. So his name, even though his name's Richard, he goes by Rich. So Rich is the fiance. Kim or Kimberly, obviously the sister. Stephanie is the adoptive mom. Courtney is the bio mom. Courtney and her husband, Brad, are in jail. Okay?
No. I know Becca said that he was sleeping. That was why she said, Mom, let's just go.
Okay. And the only reason why I'm talking about that is because I want to say, like, not even a week ago, I know that after Rich came on a panel, said his side of the story, after that, it was kind of like going back and forth. Like, Rich was.
Okay, so it sounds like we have some content creators that got these people on interviews. Okay, we got Courtney here. If somebody can find me the Rich interview, if somebody can find me the Kim interview, please send that to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. We need to listen to those interviews. This will give us a great, we have interviews from all three of the people that have, three people that have been in jail. The only person who doesn't seem to have a conversation yet is Brad. I don't know if Brad was online or not. I'd hear somebody behind, whispering to Courtney here and there. I've heard that. I can't make out what they're saying, but I can hear somebody's there. So, if you guys have those, please send those again. If you're on the replay crew, if you're watching right now, if I'm going to be clipping or somebody else is clipping this and putting this out somewhere else, please send those to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. We need to get the interviews. We need to listen to those interviews. If you are on TikTok, if you were the ones that got this interview on TikTok, please download your TikTok and get those out either on your TikTok or on YouTube so we can find those interviews. We need to review those interviews. Thank you so much for your attention to this serious matter. Thank you. Thank you.
Like, kind of concerned with you and Brad, and then you and Brad were concerned with you and Rich, like sus of you and of Rich. And it was kind of like you were, I'm not saying pointing the finger at Rich, but basically saying that he's suspect in all of this situation.
So she's pointed the finger at Rich. She's pointed the finger at her daughter. And that right there, if we would have been doing this and say nobody was in jail yet, like the situation where Sebastian Rogers, he has not been found. And let me show my face so you guys can see me. We're going to talk about this real quick. Here we go. This is where if they weren't in jail right now and Stephanie hadn't been found and it was something like Sebastian Rogers' case, okay? And you're seeing, or Summer Wells' case, this is a prime example with what Don Wells did, pointing the finger at everybody else, not even considering that the last person seen with his daughter, his own wife, would have any explaining to do. He didn't even entertain that, even though we have multiple witnesses that said if anything happened to Summer, it would happen on Candace's watch. So he obviously didn't trust his own wife with his daughter. But yet when it comes to anybody else, it's his wife's the best parent, this, that, and the other. But we have it on record from multiple people he's made that statement to about Candace. Getting back to this, you've got a situation where this woman is literally pointing at the fiance and her own daughter. Not one time considering anything else when this chick here was at her mother's house, the lady that's speaking here, pointing the finger at everybody, right? So I would have considered this a red flag. This right here was a red flag. I would have already determined, even if we did not find Stephanie, based upon this conversation here with this mother, that this child is most likely dead and she is responsible or knows more about it. Okay, just to let you, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. This would have been the interview that would have started moving me. If I were to think that this was just a missing person, this would be the interview that would start moving me from me thinking that she's missing or possibility of missing to start thinking that she is deceased. Okay, this would be the interview that would have moved me from that position and over the fence, much like we had, I can't remember exactly the specific interview we had with Sebastian's case that fully took me away from, I think it was Chronicles of Olivia. If I recall correctly, I think I was on the fence until Chronicle of Olivia's interview with the Proudfoot, and then I converted completely off that fence and knew that Sebastian was gone and his mom and stepdad were responsible. So this would have been that type of scenario where the conversation on our channel would have shifted. Okay, so just a little insight, because I think you guys need this, because it's only these types of cases where we're already seeing that these parents are behind bars. We're already seeing we already know what the end result is. It's these, and going back and looking at those behavior and comparing them to others' behavior, so you understand why I make the assessments that I do. This is the only time you guys get to see that, right? So anyways, let's get moving.
Situation. And I just want you to know that I'm not sticking up for him. I don't think he is a good person at all, with his background and everything like that. But I do have confirmation that his alibi, what his alibi is, and it is stuck, of him being at home the entire night the night that Becca went missing and never leaving his house. And your truck picking up Becca was shown on his video cam footage in front of his house. So I just want you to know that that is his alibi, and it has stuck.
It has stuck. Wow, the way she's using some of these words, and it's stuck. Like they confirmed it. That's what she means, and it's stuck. When she says "and it's stuck," what she's saying is that they confirmed the information. He had video footage, okay, kind of like Seth Rogers, you know, where he had video footage of where exactly he was, and so he was eliminated as a person of interest in that. So she's basically saying that he was home all night, his truck never moved, and he's got video evidence of that, and therefore his alibi stuck. That means what she's trying to say is he was truthful in his alibi. He really was at home. Okay? Yeah, what, stuck? What the hell is she talking about here? Stuck. So truth, in her mind, the truth is stuck. His alibi stuck. So she's trying I just want you guys, let me see where we are in this story here. So we're only 23 minutes in, guys. This is going to be one that's going to take us a couple days to get through, because we're digesting it and we're taking down to bite-sized molecular, spots, and we're discussing them. But I just want to show you the reality of this, because we've already been going for 2.5 hours. Actually, we're probably going to just take a little break and get back to it, because I want to get through this. There's no reason why I'm in a lot of pain. The patch is starting to help a little bit. I'm not in as much pain as I was this morning. I wish I would have done the patch yesterday, but I'm glad I did the patch today. And so we're going to sit here and get through this entire show. But I want to put it into perspective for the audience, folks. We're only 23 minutes into this interview. I know it seemed a lot longer because we're at almost 2.5 hours on this show, right? So I know it feels a lot longer than that, but we're truly only 23 minutes and 45 seconds into her show, where she's having this interview with Courtney. And why is that important? Because I want you guys to hear Courtney. Courtney has done accused, okay? Listen to this. She's accused the second baby daddy of putting out a hit. She has accused her daughter, her own other daughter, Kimberly, of knowing more and being and most likely being complicit in the disappearance of her other daughter. And then she goes on to state that she even accused her fiance, but he had video evidence that stuck. She has accused all of these people in under 20 minutes. Do you guys see why this would have been a red flag? If we were already at her being in jail, do you guys see why this would have been the interview that would have taken us from us believing that this woman was truly missing and alive and findable to deceased and these people no more. This would have been the interview that took us from that. And if people were watching this back then, because I wasn't involved in this case back then, I think we were covering something else. I don't remember exactly what, maybe the Buzzard case. I think I was still, all into the Buzzard case at this time because it was a terrible case, right? And she needed somebody fighting for her. But I think that that's what was going on during this time when this case was kind of breaking. But at the end of the day, here we are catching up, we are learning. And I'm using this as a learning lesson to some of the other cases we have in comparing, people's behavior, because we have to take the guilty mind, the ones that have already been accused and thrown in jail, and compare them to the ones that we're still accusing that need to go to jail, right? So you guys understand why we think that the way we think when it comes to these people. So that's kind of where we are. What is that? Oh, that's I didn't realize. So my, oh, you poor guys. I didn't realize my vertical has had my light in their view the entire time. You poor things. You poor things. Let me get that out of your view. You don't need to be seeing that. You probably wonder, I was looking over there and I'm like, what the hell is that? There you go. If you guys are on the vertical view, I didn't realize you guys had my light there blocking this the entire time. It's fixed now. All right, let's get back to it.
But the thing is, yeah, that was between 6:30 and 7 o'clock that night. Where was he the rest of the night?
He was at home.
Really sleeping?
Well, they never showed him leaving or coming back home at all the entire rest of the night.
So he had video evidence that he went inside his house and never left. And again, this is the third plan B, that she has. She had the baby daddy, the second baby daddy, the sister, and now the fiance. I mean, to be honest with you, this right here, this whole element here is more Don Wells than anybody.
Like Rich likes to walk down the road.
I'm sorry.
Rich likes to walk down the road. He's got a cousin that lives right down the road that he goes and does rugs with.
Well, you did tell me just now that you said that Becca said he was sleeping. So I do know that there's video. What I was saying is there's video footage of Rich never leaving his house and never coming back to his house that night.
But he can avoid those cameras, trust me. We've avoided them quite a few times.
That is what we call convincing language, right? Because nobody is buying that he left the house and she says, oh, but he could avoid the cameras. We've avoided the cameras before. Why would anybody avoid the cameras? That doesn't even make sense. Why would you, even if you were going over there for substances, why would you avoid the cameras? Nobody gives a crap. If you're going over there for substances, you're going over there for substances. Unless somebody's coming over there and busting in, they're not gonna care. Why? It's more suspicious that you're attempting to try to avoid cameras to go over there and get substances than it is just to knock on the door and walk in and hang out. That doesn't even remotely make sense. That is purely convincing language, in my opinion.
I know all of Rich's little tricks and trades and all that.
Convincing.
So yeah, he can avoid those cameras.
Sorry, I had to get my other phone because I'm getting incoming news here, so bear with me.
We all have multiple phones, guys.
All I want is for my child to be.
If you are a content creator and you are on these platforms and you do not have multiple phones, you need multiple phones, okay? Go get an old phone, because there's going to be times you don't have time to pull out the camera, you don't have room to, the computer, you don't have room to pull out the computer, you don't have room or the time to pull out an iPad. You have to grab something that you can hold in your hand very quickly that's not going to drop on the floor, okay? And the best thing you can use is a phone, and it's a second camera and a recorder, as a matter of fact. Just saying.
Incoming news here, so bear with me.
But all I want is for my child to be found, brought home safely. If she's had my grandbaby, I want to make sure, he's safe. He's healthy. My daughter.
I want you guys to hear how calm she is. Folks, are you guys listening to this woman? Are you listening to her? She is literally acting like Chris Proudfoot, Don Wells. She did this, the depraved way they found this young lady, Rebecca Park, the depraved way they found her, how they found her, the condition they found her, the way her belly was. This woman did that to her. And listen to how calm she is, how she's just, blasé, no urgency, just trying to convince everybody they got it wrong, just trying to stay calm, cool, collected. And look what she did to this beautiful girl. Look what this woman did to her own daughter. And listen to how she's sounding. Just listen. I want you guys to listen, damn it. Listen, we're backing it up because I want you to remember the condition this child was found in. This 22-year-old was found in, and this woman did that to her. And I want you to listen to how she's talking. Because when people sit there and say, well, the parents said this and the parents said that, I don't understand why you don't believe them. Look how calm she's sounding. She sounds just like Chris Proudfoot, just like Katie Proudfoot.
So yeah, he can avoid those cameras.
Listen.
Sorry, I had to get my other phone because I'm getting incoming news here, so bear with me.
But all I want is
right
for
here.
my child to be found, brought home safely. If she's had my grandbaby, I want to make sure, he's safe, he's healthy. My daughter didn't go through a lot having him. I just really hope they're okay. That's all I want to know. I don't care where she's at. I don't care her reason for leaving. I don't care any of that. I just want to know that she is safe.
Wow. Just like Chris Proudfoot and Sebastian walking out the door and walking away. Why he did it, I don't know. I just want to make sure he's okay. We surely would like to find him. We surely would like him to come back home so we can fill up the whole street again with all his friends and family. You guys want me to play that green shirt interview for you guys? Would you guys like me to play the green shirt interview for you guys? Would you guys like to hear Chris and Katie sounding just like this monster? Would you like to hear it?
So then I can
Maybe we should.
sleep better at night.
Wow!
Y'all, we are almost to 100,000. Y'all, we are almost.
Be is safe. So then I can sleep better at night.
So I can sleep better at night.
Y'all, we are almost to 100,000 likes. I don't think I've ever seen it get to 100,000 likes so quickly. We have 1.2 thousand souls in this room. I have the wrong glasses on, so I have to zoom in and look down to focus in on what y'all are saying. So that's why I'm kind of looking crazy right now. Today's live goal is a new one, 10 money guns. If you do send one, it goes to support the platform and what I do here. This morning, I filmed a segment with News Nation. My segment is probably about 15 minutes long interview. And I will put and I would have done. I heard she would hire.
Sorry, I have to pass through this because we're not here for that.
If he wants to help and if he wants to pay for it, we're more than gladly to take the help. Because now that the recovery group is backed out, we don't have anybody. So we definitely need the help. Anybody that wants to help, we definitely need it. Like, I was mad when I called the recovery group and found out that they backed out yesterday because Kimberly wouldn't give them wouldn't send codes or any of.
I don't think that's why the recovery team backed out. It was either not a legitimate recovery team or something else was going on, because it sounded like any recovery team I've ever worked with or know or anything like that, they would never have tried to open up a phone without law enforcement having it first. I mean, I just don't know of anybody doing that, or saying that, taking it up to law enforcement and letting them know, look, we want to open this phone. Can we open it in front of you? Or, something like that. I just don't see, I don't know who this search company is, but it also might be that they realized there was something that wasn't right here and they backed out that way. I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate, but I think it might be one or the other.
That and all the crap that she's saying on all these lives, they were like, no, we're not doing drama. And they backed out. So we definitely need help. If you want to help, send me a personal message and I would be glad to get more help.
So let's back up just a minute. Earlier on the live, I heard you, I was listening in, and you told the host that you already have one. You already have a PI, or was this prior to the recovery team backing out?
That was, the recovery group is who we had. There was never a PI. There was never.
Right. When did the recovery team notify you that they've backed out of the case?
I called them today.
What time?
They told me that they. What time did I call them? The 989 number. 2:01 p.m. today is when I called them.
So she had just learned that day that they had backed out. Got it.
So just a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
She just said yesterday, and now she's saying today. I'm confused because I spoke with the recovery team, and they said
that they told me that they quit yesterday after they gave the phone to Wexford County Sheriff's Department.
Okay. From my understanding is I spoke to one of the people on the recovery team, and they aren't backing down. They're going to continue doing grid searches, but they only have 3 people, and they need more people. They need more professionals and licensed people.
You're not even contacting the people that had contacted us, obviously, because you would know that they did quit.
I just got a message right now. Hell no, we are still working it all dang day. This is the recovery team.
No,
I'm not.
So I would have to say that what she was saying about the recovery team is incorrect. They didn't back out, and they handed the phone over to law enforcement like they were supposed to. So that's what it sounds like. Give the phone to the sheriff. But it sounds like that's what they did, because she's now that we have a little bit more information, it sounds like the recovery team's still on. So it sounded like they did the right thing. So the recovery team must be legitimate, because I'm sorry, I just don't know any recovery team that's going to tamper with evidence. That's the way I look at it. When you're provided a phone that law enforcement hasn't had, that is a direct, you need to send that to law enforcement. Sorry.
I'm not giving the information out, but I want you to know that I am in.
I have a 989 number.
It's the bounty hunter. That's who it is, Courtney. If you want to contact him, go ahead.
I just contacted them.
I'm not trying to argue, Courtney. I'm just telling you that
you are, because I'm telling you what they just told me 2 hours ago.
Okay.
So
well, I'm telling you, and I hope it eases you that they are still working on this.
So Chris Proudfoot. Chris Proudfoot. Doesn't want anybody really helping. Wants the appearance of wanting help. But doesn't really want help. So she's speaking to the team. They're saying we're still on it. She's saying, well, they just told me 2 hours ago not to do anything. And it might be something like maybe she told him just to go ahead and just, chill since they couldn't get the phone open. That meant instead of them saying that to her, that she was saying that to them. I mean, I think we might find a little more out in this saga. I don't think it's as crystal clear as no pun intended, as they would like us to think it is. Interesting. It's starting to get a little spicy.
Well, if they are, good.
Okay. Yeah, it is good. It really is good.
See, she knows.
They're doing everything they can. They want more people. They need more help. I'm helping them and trying to get a bigger agency out there to try to help. But
Hold on a
I am in
second.
contact with them, and they
Hold on a second.
are not giving up. I'm sorry? What did she
Hold
say?
on a second.
I hear something going on in the back, like mowing or something. She's like, give me a sec. What is this? What is
Gotcha,
this?
she's country.
Are you? Hi, this is Courtney. I was told that you guys quit and then you guys aren't backing out. So, can you tell me, are you guys quitting or are you guys still there?
What, that missing girl case?
Yes, with Rebecca Park case.
Well, just me. I'm the only one that left. I mean, the other team is still there.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I wasn't told that earlier, but okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you. I just wanted to clear that up. All right, well, thank you. Okay, so I guess only one left out of the 3. Okay, that's great. But we still need more help. Any help?
Oh, but I thought they backed out of it because the daughter refused to give them the code to the phone. I thought it was because Kimberly didn't give them the code to the phone. So they just went and took the phone to the sheriff's department and backed out. Well, what do you know? Looky. Quite interesting.
Help that we can get, we're glad to take.
Right. And Courtney, I have nothing to lie about. I want you to know that. I have absolutely nothing to lie about here.
I didn't know that it was just one. I thought it was the whole team. So that's my bad. I'm sorry. But I wasn't told that it was more than,
Well, I accept your apology. I accept your apology, and everybody's doing everything they can that's involved in the search up there, doing everything they can to sit here and help in any type of way. And if anybody sits here and it offers help to you that you don't have to worry about and they'll do it on their own, I would not back it down. If I was a mother and my child was missing, I would take whatever anybody gives me. I don't.
Oh, and it's funny because what did Chris and Katie do? What did Don Wells and Candace Bly do? They constantly refused help, except if it came from felons or people that just wanted to, take it. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is, right? But that's what they wanted, somebody to slob their knob. We were not going to do that. But I got to tell you, they all wanted the appearance of help. of asking for help, of truly wanting help. But when the help came, they did everything they could to make sure that help was not going to help, right? For example, Chris and Katie Proudfoot turned away dog handlers, turned away SAR searchers until they got one that had the SAR designation that was a complete and utter, didn't mind breaking federal law, just an unscrupulous PI. Then they got that guy. They made sure they got the dirtiest of the dirty out here on these streets to help them. But any reputable company, any reputable person, they didn't want to deal with. They just wanted to deal with the shit. That's all they wanted to deal with, just the shit. Because they knew that they could pay the shit. They could manipulate the shit, right? You have somebody that comes here with a background, you can't take that education and background away. We're not here for the money. We're here for the truth, okay? Other people are there for the money, right? Are there to do a service, to have a service for them. Their service is running interference in federal and criminal investigations. That's the service they provide. And you know who they are because they're all linked together, right? The unscrupulous PI with the shitty internet PIs that they rub elbows with the garbage trash channels that try to come and lynch anybody that's telling the truth and tries to destroy their reputation. The people that are out here, that is the shit right there. That's the conspiracy after the fact. And we see it all times, all over and over again. It's a crime. It's a crime that we're going to start exposing each and every case that this group of people are in, because what they're doing is federal crimes.
I don't care what it is.
Not backing anybody down. The more the merrier. As long as,
saying that.
You know, hopefully we can get some answers. And
she's saying that, but she was wanting the PI out. Now she's like, oh, you guys aren't out, huh? Oh, okay. Well, we need more people. We need more people. So she didn't kick him to the curb. She thought she got him to the curb, but she didn't kick him to the curb. Just like Chris thought he got everybody kicked to the curb until they started coming around again.
my daughter gets found and she's brought home safe, and my grandson is safe. I hope he's not born yet because we really want to be there, but
wow.
If he is,
wow.
I hope he's doing
That's
okay
not normal
and
behavior.
they're doing okay, and I just really want to find my daughter.
Does it see, you know how Chris said, how Katie says that she can't wait to see her son and just bulldoze him over, just so calm and cool and collective. It has a whole different meaning now that you hear this woman speak, doesn't it? I just want you guys to, that gross you're feeling all over yourself. Yeah, we're all going to have to take a shower when we're done with this case. I get it. This case does give us the icks. Okay, it's all over us. Okay, we need a little soap and water. Okay, today we're all going to have to get a little soap and water after we close down the show. Yeah, I get it. I'm there with you. I'm going to be soaping and water in my butt too. I'm just saying. I feel dirty. Absolutely filthy covering this case.
Like, I have not tried to break yet because I'm waiting for my daughter to come home. I'm waiting for her to be found.
Okay, now we have people up in here that have lost somebody very special to them. Let me ask you, ladies out here, ladies and men, we got some men up in here, and I know some of you men cry. I know some of you men break because we're all human, right? Some of us are a little tougher than others, but we all have our breaking point. Okay, let me ask you folks here, because I know I broke. I broke. I've had a pain that just made me. I didn't get to hold that back. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. I didn't get to hold that back. So let me ask, how many people, when you have a life-altering change in your life that emotionally, she's saying, how many of you could control the break? How many of you could control the waterfall? How many of you could have controlled the inconsolable and incontrollable? How many of you were able to do that? So she's able to control it. She's the only person in the history of mankind that can control this break. That has been uncontrolled for all of us ever since we understand what sympathy and pain and excruciation, mental stuff feels like the loss of a parent or the loss of a child. That pain. She can control that pain. Wow. Hey, Summy, it's nice to see you and hear you. Thank you. 36 months. Wow. Hey, that's 3 years. It's your birthday. It's your 3-year birthday. Is that right? 12. Yeah, that's right. Gotta sing you a birthday song. I don't have my birthday hat. Where's my birthday hat? I don't see my birthday hat. Well, we're going to have to do it without the birthday hat. Why can I not? Oh, the birthday hat's all the way over there. I'm not going to go get it. So we'll just do it like this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy BHB birthday to Sammy. Happy birthday to you. Ooh. I ran out of air before I found my button. That was a first. We intentionally make it bad. Okay. We intentionally make it bad. She's like, great song. We intentionally make it bad. We do a Brando. Happy birthday to you. Okay. I hope I busted every single one of your eardrums. Nanny, boo, boo. All right. Let's keep going.
And hopefully when she is found, she doesn't say, well, I don't want nobody knowing where I'm at. I hope to God that doesn't happen.
See how she's always painting the happy picture? Remember that, God, we need to do the green shirt interview. We need to do the shirt interview. We need to do the shirt interview. We need to do the green shirt interview. We need to do the green shirt interview. We have to do the green shirt interview. We have to do it.
Folks, we have 148,000 likes. Pinned below is if you want to become a super fan.
Guys, we do not have 100,000 likes in the chat, but we know you're all super fans, even the trolls in the back. Do we have a whack a troll? Let's just give a little commercial and a little like to our folks that are the trolls.
Sneaky gremlins love to fight, but we're here to set it right. Jump and duck, let's take a shot, turning trolls into what they're not. Whack a troll, let 'em tumble, let 'em roll. Swing your spatula or a stick, whack 'em fast, whack 'em quick.
All right, we're coming back after just a little debut. We just need a little something. All right, we're on a hot mess express of learning about this case. This case is crazy. We have got like every major taboo type of issue with this case here, and it is so sad because this is a young 22-year-old girl that has all of these crazy problems in her life. She has a terrible biological mother, and we're getting to listen to how terrible her biological mother is, which is behind bars tonight for her homicide, torture, and premature birth, to say it nicely.
For a flat rate, you get extra benefits as a super fan. Of course, that money goes to support the platform and what I do here. You also get instant access to Discord, where we talk about this case and other true crime cases all day long. There are a lot of benefits to that. Or you can go to my main page and hit the subscribe button and be just a regular subscriber. That has a couple of benefits, but the best one is to be a super fan, because when we are able to have platforms like this and have conversations.
Don't forget to be a super fan on my TikTok. On my TikTok, we're gonna be over there later today.
So let me tell y'all this.
Okay, well we don't have. I got 15 more minutes, and I gotta go.
I'm a positive way. Me sometimes and not you.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Know if Rich. Do you know if Rich has any debt with the wrong kind of people?
Yeah, I will touch on that. Kimberly did mention to me that Rich has thousands, and we're talking thousands, with a rug king.
I doubt that.
How many thousands? 20?
She didn't say, but she said it was thousands.
Is Rich the kind of guy that would hand her over to pay such a debt?
This is gonna be. I kind of like how Stephanie's like couching. This is all wild stuff for me. Like I don't know any substance abuse king, substance dealer king, letting a knucklehead that looks like Rich go out $1,000 or more on debt. Okay, I'm sorry, I just don't see. I used to hang out with these folks. I used to hang out with the kings. Okay, you see what I'm saying? The ones that dealt with people like. So I just don't see where my people would have trusted a person that looks like him without a good credit record. You know, like these people, you give them a try, you give them a couple $100, right? How long does it take them to turn around and pay that money back? And then you build from there. It's just like any other type of credit, right? But I don't know somebody who's just going to trust a knucklehead. Like, I mean, we even had caps, okay? They're business people, folks. I mean, they're in the different kind of business, but they're still business people. They just handle business a little different. I don't see somebody getting thousands of dollars in debt with this knucklehead. I just don't see it. I call me crazy, but I just don't see it. And then to hand her over to pay a debt. I'm sorry, I don't know you. I don't know what kind of drug kingpins you've dealt with before, but I'm sorry. Most of the ones that I've known, they don't deal in humans, okay? Those are for like the creepy people, okay? And most kings, kingpins, they're businessmen, okay? Their payment is cash. I don't know if you know that, but their payment is cash, okay? And they gave you credit. They're coming for your niece. They ain't coming for your wife, okay? So let's not get it twisted over here. And these, like I said, this when we started out this, sometimes people that are in situations like this, they look at the movies, okay? In real life, things just don't happen like that. Could they? Of course they could. Is there some rotten kingpin that would deal in pregnant moms? Yeah, maybe that's a payment for somebody. But the majority, that's a few and far between. And I'd find those type of kingpins in, say, New York or California or Washington State, where they're near water and can ship their product out, or Florida, the tip of Miami, where they can ship them over to Cuba. Nobody wants freaking people from, they're shipping people from Cuba over here, but I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying. It just doesn't, I know there's a market, but I just don't see it being in this area of Michigan. I don't see a kingpin, payment being a human payment. Come on. I mean, you have those HT dealers, right? But they're usually they may have their boss might be involved in a the HT and the drug trade, and that may be the case. But typically you got it's like what's a good example? A good real world example. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I just don't know what kind of kingpin she thinks we're dealing with here. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not sure.
Weird.
But the
Just
people
weird.
that he deals with, they could go after her. I'm not going to lie. The people that he deals with are very scary. They are in the sea, and they are from rug gangs.
But are they American, or if are they shipped in gangs? Okay, because the shipped in gang, the American gangs, they're a bunch of. Let's be honest with you. Okay, I'm sorry. Outside of the motorcycle Pete folks, most of the gangs, especially some of them are a little harder than others, but most we're talking about most, they're a bunch of bitches. Unless you're in the inner city, and then you get a little more hard, crazy, kamikaze people. But most of those people are not here legally. Okay, they're from Venezuela. Venezuela. You tell me that he's dealing with some Venezuelans. Now, I might think that okay, you're going somewhere with this. Okay, but you're dealing with some punks in Michigan from America. Yeah, you ain't no. If they look like rich, no, they're not the ones. Okay, I don't think even if she wants to call him a kingpin, no, I know real kingpins. Okay, I know real king, and I'm telling you, the real kingpins, they don't deal in humans. Okay, it's bad for business. You ask anybody, it's bad for business.
So there's a possibility, and I've been going through that. I've been trying to figure it out myself, and my brain is just, I'm constantly trying to figure things out every day, all day long. Like, Brad's like, you need to take a break. I can't take a break. I need to know where my child is.
She sure sounds
and if she's
like
okay, and if she's safe, and if she's had my grandson, that he's safe and he's okay, and she's got everything that she needs for him right now. And
Christopher Bradford,
a million things go through my head every day. Like, I'm about to go to counseling because this is getting to me really bad.
Now that was what was her name? Lori Jean, whatever. The counseling that came from Ashley Buzzard's mom, whatever her name was. Remember? Lori Jean Miranda, I think is her name, right? I need counseling because everything, whatever. This lady's driving me nuts. I gotta be honest with you. She really is kind of driving me a little nutso. Where is it? Sebastian Rogers. There we go. A little nutso with this case because she's just all over the board. She's not, and this is typically what we find happening. That's why it's so important to ask these questions and open-ended questions when you're giving interviews, especially to people that can be perceived as suspects. Like Chris Proudfoot, when we were on Smiley Story World, that's when we found out that there were multiple child CPS reports and multiple trips to the house. We found that on Smiley Story World by accident, just by asking an open-ended question. And so what you find is if you keep these people online long enough and ask them questions, they're going to tell on themselves because they're answering the question while we're not in the hot seat. Right? We're the ones giving the interview. So they're in the hot seat. They don't know what we're going to ask them. We know typically what we're going to ask them. And they're having to answer the question we're asking them, but they're not realizing they've already contradicted themselves with a prior answer. or they've made a statement here and then you ask them another question, and because they're under pressure, they're in the hot seat, they answer the question, and it now contradicts something that they previously said. So we have already heard so many contradictions in this story, much like Chris and Katie with Sebastian Rogers, because they were always online, always giving a story. When you compared one story to another story, none of them ever sounded the same. You would only have 3 major landmarks in all the stories, and those landmarks were 6 a.m., 9 p.m., and 12 p.m. or 12 a.m., near midnight, close to midnight. Those were really the only 3 things that stayed regular from story to story. Was she woke up at 6 a.m. She did not see Sebastian in the bedroom. The night before, he went to bed around 9 and she went to bed around midnight. Those were the only things. The only 3 things that stayed the same from story to story were those 3 things. Other than that, other details constantly change from story to story. If you don't believe me, prove me wrong. Find me a story where Katie actually says the same blessed thing 2 times in a row. You will never find it. Yet you go to all these other stories, and moms and dads can seem to know exactly what happened and knows how to tell the story the exact same way each and every time. No matter who asks them the question, the story stays the same. It doesn't change. It doesn't slightly change. Every question that's answered truthfully only supports the story provided. Yet in Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' case, that's just the opposite. Every question that's answered makes the other statements stated questionable, not supporting. So we've got a lot, and I think this is a good case for 2 reasons, because we're listening to a guilty person making up things as they're going. We're seeing how they're behaving as a guilty person in the hot seat, and this is identifying a lot of different behaviors we've seen in the past. Say with Chris and Katie, say with Don Wells and Candace Bly, right? Say with other victims, parents that we've been dealing with. Because here we have a woman that basically unalived her daughter and butchered her. Okay? And listen to how she sounds. Calm, cool, collected. Calm, cool, collected. What does Chris and Katie always try to convey to everybody until they're put in their place or challenged? They always try to have this calm, cool, collected behavior in front of the camera. This unnatural, calm, cool, and collected behavior. Why is it unnatural? Because calm, cool, and collected doesn't go with missing children that have been missing for a while. Okay? The last thing you are when you have a missing child is calm, cool, and collected. Okay? And when that missing child's gone longer and longer, the last thing you have is calm, cool, and collected. So when you have parents that are calm, cool, and collected, this is why everybody's like, ding, 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 ding. We got a red flag. We got a red flag. We got a red flag. Woo, 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 right? Exactly, tulips. Let's not forget. Katie pled the 5th. What do you bet? What do you bet? Courtney Bartholomew also pled the 5th. What do you bet? I bet you we will find out there was a point in time when she, what? Shut it up. Shut it up. All right, guys, that is it. We've been here for quite a long time, about 3 hours. We need to get on with our day. We have a video from yesterday, the argument of learning that Kim and Richard were released from jail yesterday. You guys see how we fought and fought and fought until we had receipts to confirm specifically that they were released, and then we came here on YouTube and broke the news that they were released, but it took us a while to get there. I will tell you, if you follow me on TikTok, one thing you do not want to do is be rude. I'm going to start doing what I do here on YouTube, there on TikTok, and just start blocking people. If you are on TikTok, we have the same rules over there as we have here. You don't have to like the people in the chat. You don't have to agree with the people in the chat. But one thing you do is you have to treat the people in the chat like human beings. You can't talk to them like a pile of poop. Okay? If you think that you can talk to somebody like a pile of poop, I will talk to you like a pile of poop. Okay? And if you don't like being talked to like a pile of poop, quit talking to other people like a pile of poop. You guys get you guys get it? Okay, I know my team over here gets it. But we're going to be doing that same thing over there because they don't get it. And we got to make sure since a lot of parents don't know how to raise their children, then we're going to have to start getting some coming uppins over there on TikTok. And there is nobody that's going to give you your coming uppins like a Bullhorn Betty. All right? I'm just saying. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. Don't forget to go over to Stephanie's case files and sub up to her, please. She is great. I really like her. Even the more and more I watch her like this is the first time I've actually broke down an interview she's done. And I got to tell you, I like her more and more every time I watch her. So if you guys are not supporting her, you should be. She's very good at what she does. And if you are on TikTok, I know not everybody over here on the YT is over on the TikTok, but she also has a great and a fabulous channel over on the TikTok. So please hit her up over there as well. All right, guys, we will see you later today, probably later this afternoon. My neck is starting to feel a little bit better, not as bad as it was yesterday, thank God, but it's still bothering me. So I'm going to be taking it easy for probably the rest of the week. I'm hoping by this weekend, these problems will stop. We had one good week out of this entire month where I wasn't in a lot of pain. So it's just, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know what's triggering it. I've been trying not to overexert myself. I've been trying to do, it's not like I do a whole bunch of different stuff. I'm not dancing on tables or swinging from chandeliers, folks. Okay, I can promise you that. So I really don't know what's triggering this. I don't know if it's maybe I'm sleeping. Maybe I need to flip my mattress. I'm not sure what the deal is, but hopefully I'll just keep working through it until we're resolved, okay? And then we'll be back to our regular schedule. We have a lot of stuff going on. If you guys don't know that we have been doing a little bit different lineup. We do this show here. I try to drop some videos on TikTok and YouTube. We also been doing a lot of drops on our Facebook, our personal and Bullhorn Betty page, as well as a lot with our X channel. Our X channel right now is predominantly political because, we're gearing up to 2026. So there's a lot of political stuff that I'm writing in there, a lot of political articles I'm doing there, along with my personal page. So if that's not kind of you, then you might want to stay away from that and just stay on the Bullhorn Betty stuff. I know some stuff I do still bring in political stuff on here too. That's never going to change. But at least it's not overwhelming if you're not really all into the political stuff. I only want the stuff people supporting my political aspirations that believe in the political stuff that I do, right? So X, we've turned pretty much very limited true crime stuff. I'll throw this video on there with some stuff, but most of my avocation right now is political on my X account. So just, but it will get back to, to true crime once we're through this political, we got the vote in 2026. So you guys will get a break in 2027 and then we'll be back up, but 10 times. We'll be like we are this time, but on steroids for the 2028, because 2028 is going to be, in my opinion, a scary time. So we need to figure out what we're going to do for 2028. All right, guys, I love you. Rock it out. We'll see you soon.